Well, what's up, San Diego? And a happy Tuesday to everybody out there in America's finest city. I'm Braden Surprenant. This is the Braden Surprenant Show, live and local each and every day from 10 to 2 on San Diego's number one sports station, 97.3 The Fan. Alongside Frank Marchese, we're here live at the Padres Blood Drive here at Petco Park. Always love being a part of this event. Always love being able to try to convince and get people down here and urge people to come down and donate blood for a really good cause, obviously. San Diego Blood Bank always needs, blood donations near the end of the Christmas time to the beginning part of the year. So if you're in the area, if you're downtown, we're looking for a lot of walk-ups today here at Petco Park. Super easy to do. Got to fill out a little bit of paperwork, answer a questionnaire. You'll be in and out of here very quickly. They got food for everybody that donates blood, and I think they got a couple other things as well. But Frank, first blood drive show. I've done a lot of these now. I enjoy coming down here and doing these, but always doing it for a great cause and love being here at the Padres Blood Drive.
Yeah, absolutely. And you have your own story, and that's your story to tell. We'll get to that a little bit later on. But, this is always something to get out into the community, help out your fellow San Diegan is something that I'm always willing to do. And it's the San Diego Blood Bank has always been good with me. I've only been poked once every single time I've gone to donate blood. So yeah, it's a great cause. Beautiful day in San Diego, nice and cool. Get to hang out at Petco Park a little bit before the season begins as well.
Yeah, we're gonna have Claudine Van Gonka on later on at noon to kind of give you all the ins and outs of where they're at blood donation wise, as well as some of the perks of donating blood and a lot of the stories that we get to hear throughout the day of people that have been impacted by the blood bank. And before we dive into sports, I just to kind of set the tone for the day. This is something that has affected my life, obviously, my family's lives, as I am a beneficiary of the blood bank, and I really appreciate, obviously, all the people back in the 1990s that donated blood to help me stay alive again. It doesn't just go sit in a warehouse and all that stuff. People need this on a daily basis, and you're helping out so many different people in your community that you don't even realize. And I'm one of those people. When I was born, I had low platelets as a child. My body was rejecting everybody's blood in my family, with the exception of my mom. My mom obviously couldn't donate all the blood, and so we needed a lot of blood from the blood bank to keep me alive, to the point where I was able to develop platelets and stop bleeding as an infant. Born at Poway at Pomerado Hospital, quickly shipped off to Children's Hospital, where I was an ICU in the Children's ICU for about a week of time. Constant needles, blood transfusions, all that stuff just to keep me alive. To the point where they even took my handprints and my footprints from my parents as a memorial to the child they were about to lose. I was supposed to have a lot of, if I was to survive, a lot of different issues and different disabilities that I'm blessed I do not have. I am a fully functioning, healthy adult, and a big reason to that for the people that donated blood to blood drives at different events to keep people like me alive. And if it wasn't for the blood bank, I wouldn't be sitting here with you guys. So really appreciate everybody that comes out and donates blood. And, I did, back when the Pedal for a Cause was doing some stuff with the Padres, I did the Padres pedal a couple of times. And when they did that for cancer research, we always wanted to well, where is this going? Where is the money going? Who's actually being affected? You could be telling people, and a lot of individuals that donate blood, hey, you're impacting a lot of lives, but then you don't really know who those people are. And I always go back to the Padres Pedal the Cause, and they brought up a family for a little girl who I think was 5 years old at the time, and she had a very rare form of cancer, and the money that was raised at previous Pedal for the Cause ended up leading to research that led to experimental and testing treatment that ended up working for her as an experiment, and to keep her alive and to and help her fight off cancer. And you hear that story, and you see this little girl up there and the family around her of the people it impacted. You just don't know who gets helped by these things. And that's why I always like to show that I am one of those people that have been helped by the blood bank So you're helping a lot of people that are in your everyday lives that you might not even know. And we greatly appreciate you guys coming out today to the blood drive here at Petco Park. So it's here at Petco Park. You can park over in the Lexus lot. That is the place, I think, where they're having people park.
I believe the tailgate lot's available.
Tailgate lot is available
also,
too for people that want to come down here. Parking is free. It's easy walk in. We're here at the East Village Gate, which is in the right field first baseline, entering the Gallagher Square. The blood drive donation. There's a couple of steps that you go through, but it's all in Gallagher Square. Get a nice little meal at the end of the day. They have free food here too, so a lot of benefits to donating blood. But the most important thing, you're helping a lot of people.
Yeah, absolutely. And this is an event that I would absolutely love to continue to come to. I'll be donating blood a little bit later on today. I hope they take a walk in at around 2:00. That would be very much appreciated. But this is it, again, to help your fellow San Diegan out. It's absolutely 110% worth it. Yeah, especially people like Augie in the chat's got a rare blood type that they need more donations for. And when we get the full update from Claudine, it's you're going to get a lot of information about this particular about the blood types they need, where we're at in terms of blood donations and the other things that you could do. So it's for a very big cause. There's a lot of people that need your blood out there. So if you're in the area and you got some extra time, come on down to Petco Park, to Gallagher Square, donate some blood. You're going to help a lot of people today, and we really appreciate it. So we're going to be here all day. We'll give you updates on the blood bank and try to get you guys out here and celebrate. It's a beautiful day. I'm going to tell you right now, it's a great day. And if you're around San Diego County, come down to downtown. I mean, it's a beautiful afternoon. Enjoy your lunch break downtown. Donate some blood. Enjoy the rest of your day down here. It's a picture perfect day for January in America's finest city. Yeah, nice and cool. We're at a nice shady spot here, just in the shade of the right field stands. Field's looking quite interesting. I didn't
go check it out. Are they redoing everything?
Yeah, it's a little brown right now, but exactly. It's winter
January,
time.
Man.
And then again, we'll be here again for maybe not in this exact same spot, but we'll be here again on Saturday for FanFest.
Yeah, we'll be here Saturday for FanFest. No, we're going to be further along, by the first base side in the section in the 100 sections. Right on the concourse. But right now, as you walk in the East Village Gate, there's the check-in. We're right next to the check-in. So come out, say hi to us, say hi to Frank and I, donate some blood, and enjoy a nice little free lunch and some other free perks of coming down to the Padres Blood Drive. We really appreciate all of that. Let's talk about some of the big topics in sports. We're going to talk about college basketball in a second with San Diego State. We kind of talked a little bit about how they did against UNLV. We will reiterate that. They decided to use one of their charter flights for the game back from Grand Canyon. Mark Ziegler laid out in his article yesterday about how much of an impact that had for them in their recovery to get ready for UNLV. We'll talk about that in the next segment. But a lot of things going on with the NFL right now. Did you see, some of the NFL coaching hires? So they decided to go in Buffalo with Joe Brady as the head coach. But I find that to be fascinating because you decided to get rid of Sean McDermott because you weren't winning in the postseason. You need to get over the hump. And so instead of going out and finding a new coach, let's just promote the offensive coordinator, one of the guys that's part of the failure, if you think, is a failure of not winning in the playoffs. That was an interesting move to me. And then you go to Tennessee. This has the ability to be pure cinema in a couple of years. For the people of New York, the Jets fans and the Giants fans of New York, looking down to Tennessee and seeing the two New York coaches who just got fired taking over the Titans, with Robert Saleh being the head football coach of the Tennessee Titans and now Brian Daboll being the offensive coordinator of the Tennessee Titans. So now you have a situation in New York. You watch Saquon Barkley leave, go to Philly, win a Super Bowl. You have now seen, for all the Jets fans out there, and then they're the Jets, Sam Darnold leave, end up with the Vikings, go 14-3, and now he's in the Super Bowl still at a young age with Seattle. And now, if all goes well with Tennessee, you might potentially see both the Giants' failure head coach and the Jets' failure head coach working together to help the Titans get to the promised land. This has the chance to be absolute, as you would call the Packers-Bears game, cinema.
The Jets are, you have to expect it from the New York Jets. I mean, they have just been a broken franchise, and they will continue to be a broken franchise, at least until Woody Johnson steps down or sells the team. The Giants, on the other hand, this has been just a last decade of pure misery from this team. After losing Eli Manning, they showed that they have absolutely zero structure in place, and they put a lot on Eli. They put a lot on Tom Coughlin, and when both of those guys were gone, the house of cards completely fell apart. I thought that Dabo was a decent head coach, just with the team that he had. He wasn't great. I wouldn't be surprised if he has some success with the Titans and with Robert Saleh going and being the head coach with Tennessee, being a more defensive mind. You understand the two decisions that the Tennessee Titans have made.
You get these guys out of poorly run organizations, and we'll see the type of success they have. Cinema, as I said, it has the chance to be cinema. But that being said, the Titans aren't a great organization, so that might be a disaster in itself. Because remember, the Titans are experiencing exactly what Jets fans are experiencing. Mike Vrabel, who they fired in his first year with the Patriots after taking a year off, has now led them to a Super Bowl. Now, whether or not they win the Super Bowl is another story, but he has led them to the Super Bowl. So those are some of the trending things on in the sports world right now. I want to get to this later because we got to take a break. We're going to get to Aztec basketball kind of weekend that was in college basketball. Later on, the 11 o'clock hours are baseball hour. Teams that could break out in 2026 that you wouldn't expect based on the season they had last year. World Baseball Classic roster starting to take shape. But the Farmers Insurance Open. Is this the final year of the Farmers Insurance Open? I mean, there's a little bit. Ben and Woods were talking about this. This has a potential to be, the last Farmers Insurance Open. I don't think that's to be the case, but we're going to dive into that in the noon hour after we talk to Claudine Van Gonka. We got to take a quick break. When we come back, Aztecs basketball, how a charter flight led to a victory at UNLV. We'll explain when we come back on the Braden Surprenant Show, San Diego Summer Sports Station 97 through the Fan. We're usually broadcasting live from the Bill House Studios. We know how. Today, Bill House Studios on the road a little bit. We're out here at the San Diego Padres Blood Drive at Petco Park. Taking a lot of walk-ins today. There's a lot of appointments that were made to donate blood. But if you're in the area and you want to donate blood, there's free parking down here at the tailgate lot as well as the premier lot. You could be able to park there for free. When you walk into the East Village gate, they got signs all over downtown that point you in the right direction. It's the gate at the right field spot. When you walk in, you check in, you get a T-shirt that Frank's got right there in front of him. So there's a T-shirt for everybody that they're going to get. It's a long-sleeve T-shirt, which is nice. Everybody that's donating blood today, they will also have some different types of swag, Padres swag, that is being given away today, which includes a lot of their previous giveaways with bobbleheads and everything like that. I don't know what the limit is on that particular deal or how many they got, but it's obviously probably first come, first serve on some of the cool stuff that they have, which is over by the restrooms. They have the lunches and stuff and the snacks. So you get some free food down here for the blood donation. You get an opportunity to get some Padres swag, some Padres gear, as well as the Blood Drive T-shirt. And you're doing a lot to save a lot of lives. So we are open down here from 9 in the morning to 6 at night. We're going to have Claudine Van Gonka on with us at noon to help promote the Blood Drive. But got the update on it. Looking for a lot of walk-ins today. So hopefully we could drive some of you guys down. If you come down, say hi to Frank and I. We'll be here till 2 o'clock today doing our show. We really appreciate you guys donating blood. I want to mention all guests on 97.3 The Fan. Join us on the David P. Shapiro Fan Hotline. David P. Shapiro, criminal defense attorneys, helping good people regain control of their future when charged with a crime since 2010. Visit davidpshapirolaw.com. I'm surprised I was able to get in some of that news that happened earlier today when it comes to the NFL, because this morning, a big thank you to St. Augustine High School and Tom Isaac from St. Augustine High School. This guy's been teaching there for a long time now. He teaches the career in sports class that I spoke at during Saints' intercession today. About 13 to 14 kids in that class. Intercession for St. Augustine High School, the entire month of January, they pick one subject that is something like career-wise. You do a little bit of an internship, and it was pretty cool. I saw their calendar. They had a lot of other guest speakers. Alex Miniak went and talked to their class, which was pretty cool. Saw a couple other names, Fernando Ramirez, who we've had on the show before, went and talked to their class. They got a couple other people. And they have done field trips to Titleist. They went to Titleist's headquarters. They went to Snapdragon Stadium. So pretty cool class. It was cool for them, cool for me to talk to them today. So I really appreciate Saints inviting me over. Now, that being said, as a Cathedral guy, I did get some booze when he did introduce me as one of the coaches and Cathedral alumni, which is fine. Gotta love the rivalry and the tradition there. And as the parting gift, he gave me a sleeve of golf balls, Titleist golf ball, because he's also the golf coach. He used to be a golf pro. And they all have the St. Augustine logo on them. I said, I might have to bust these at a Cathedral alumni tournament, see if I can start raise some hell out there. Ignite the fires a little bit. But then they also gave me a Saints notebook. I don't know what I'm going to do with that. I might have to put a TCU sticker over the Saints logo.
These are the ones that when I know I'm going to shank one, I'm going to use. When I'm not going to,
there's a water hazard over there. Yeah, let's pull out the Saints ball.
Exactly. I think those will be good there.
That's
probably.
Right. Well, this guy actually, surprisingly enough, he was one of Sushi Sam's teachers. So I'm sure the stories he could tell about Sushi Sam have been great. He gave me a sleeve of golf balls too for Sushi Sam. So we'll see.
Oh boy, look, Sam doing nothing and getting gifts. Look at
you know what? He does that a lot. He does nothing and gets rewarded a lot of the times. Good for him. You know what? Don't hate the player, hate the game. Let's get to the Aztec basketball game from, on Saturday against UNLV. They won 82-71. We talked about this briefly yesterday. But I did want to add to this deal. So the Aztecs get 4 chartered flights per season as part of their budget. They use, and that means one leg of the flight. So going to and from someplace counts as 2. So they already burned 2 going to Laramie. They used one for the flight from Grand Canyon. And they used this one strategically because it was a later tip-off. But they decided to use the charter flight home from Grand Canyon because they had to go to Vegas on Saturday, kind of a quick turnaround. The benefit was that night they got to sleep in their own bed. They got to attend class the next day. better physical recovery, and it limited the prep time to a one-day scout, no shoot around. And San Diego State was able to overcome that fast, and they think that was a big advantage to their win over UNLV, as the Aztecs shot 65% over the final 35 minutes of that game.
Yeah, and also, I mean, you see some of these numbers that we discussed here. Miles Heide had a horrific game against Grand Canyon, shot 3 for 4. Elsie Harrington was 2 for 6, not great, but Miles Bird going 7 for 8, 5 for 5 from 3-point range, perfect 4 for 4 from the charity stripe, and 23 points over 33 minutes. That is a huge jump from what you saw over against Grand Canyon. And I understand you could say, oh, well, it's the crowd, it's the noise. As I mentioned yesterday, if you're a guy like Miles Bird who has NBA aspirations, that is an NBA caliber crowd, an NBA caliber building at Grand Canyon. So you're going to have to get used to that kind of thing and play well throughout it. And he definitely had a bounce back game and was a big part as to why San Diego State did so well against UNLV on Saturday afternoon.
Yeah, why did San Diego State win? Well, they shot 56.5% from the field. They were 8 of 13 from 3, which we don't see too many times for San Diego State. 22 of 26 from the free throw line, which has been a problem in a lot of Aztec losses. Got to be able to hit your free throws. Where UNLV was 12 for 22, including 2 of 10 from Tyron Jones. UNLV being, shooting 12 of 22 for the free throw line. Brian Dutcher said that was the big difference in the game. Now, this is the question. Is Miles Bird officially San Diego State's go-to closer after the game against UNLV? I think he needs to be, but it's just been one game. We have seen ups and downs of Miles Bird. Miles Bird needs to put together a little bit more consistency, and that will help this Aztecs team make the NCAA tournament outright and then be able to win a couple of games in the NCAA tournament. It's going to have to go through Bird, especially with Guath being out.
Yeah, that and Reese Dixon Waters also is another one of those guys who has been very up and down, hot and cold all season long. He only shot 3 for 11 against UNLV in the 32 minutes he played. Another one that I find interesting, BJ Davis, who has been San Diego State's leading scorer more often than not this season. 0 for 2, no points in only 12 minutes. But that's a guy who's also been used to carrying the load this early in the season, not getting much done against UNLV. So, yeah, it really did fall on Miles Bird on Saturday. And that's, I mean, in games where your support characters are not showing, you need to be able to take over. And for Miles Bird, especially when his number 2 and Magoon Guath isn't there, he did a fantastic job on Saturday.
Latest edition of Joe Lunardi's Bracketology has Arizona as the number 1 overall seed. Texas is the last team in. Seton Hall, the first team out. And for the Aztecs right now, they have a pretty good resume, but they are going to have to try to add another quad 1 win. We've talked about that before. Unfortunately for them, Colorado State has played their way out of what could potentially be a quad 1 game when they go to Fort Collins on February 21st. So you're looking at right now, Saturday at Utah State is your next opportunity to get a quad 1 win. That is a huge game for the Aztecs, but you got to be able to take care of business tomorrow night, which is a late tip-off. That is a 7:30 Pacific time tip-off, which is not the local time in Colorado, or it's a local time for us. Never mind. The game's at Viejas Arena. 7:30 start for the Aztecs tomorrow night at Viejas Arena. That's a very big game for San Diego State. A little bit later of a game, and then it's a quick turnaround at Utah State, going to Logan, Utah, to take on what is going to be the biggest contender for the number 1 seed in the Mountain West Conference tournament.
Yeah, absolutely. So you have to build that momentum off of UNLV and get this win against Colorado State. Colorado State's 3-6 in the conference, currently sitting at 12-8 overall this season, and then you're on the way. You're on the road to Utah State, and they are nipping at your heels. And just as we talked about with the football program towards the end of the season, this is a fantastic opportunity that you have to build some gap, build a cushion for yourself in the Mountain West, because we've seen it. One game is not going to be enough. So to be able to go into Utah State and get a win, make it 3 straight. Hopefully, if you beat Colorado State tomorrow, that is going to be huge for your chance of winning at least the regular season in the Mountain West and getting yourself the best seed possible for the tournament.
What does it look like tournament-wise for San Diego State? We are about just at the halfway point of conference play. Joe Lenardi had the Aztecs in the NCAA tournament. I'll tell you where they're at and who might be coming to San Diego when we come back on the Braden Surprenant Show. San Diego's #1 sports station, 97 through the Fan. Here live at the Blood Bank at Petco Park. Sorry, at the Blood Drive at Petco Park, helping the San Diego Blood Bank. He's Frank Marchese. I'm Braden Surprenant. We are the Braden Surprenant Show. We are looking for some walk-ins today down at Petco Park. So if you're in the area, in downtown area, or if you just want to stroll downtown, today it's a beautiful day in San Diego. Absolutely gorgeous day in America's finest city. This is why you pay the taxes to live here. I mean, it is wonderful. And you can come down, donate blood. You get some Padres swag. You get a blood drive T-shirt, free food and snacks for everybody donating blood today. There's free parking, very easy to make today happen. And we look forward to you coming down here. If you come down here, Frank and I will be right by the entrance. As you walk in, right field gate is where the entrance is for the blood drive at Gallagher Square. Come by and say hi. Say hi to us. Let us know that you heard on the radio to come down and donate blood. We're looking for a lot of walk-ins today. To try to replenish a lot of the reserves for the blood bank. So we are glad that you guys are a part of it. Anybody that has already donated blood today, we really appreciate that. And again, you get some free food out of the deal. Get your snacks to replenish some of the iron in your body. Got a lot of other things that you can get for free. It's a pretty cool deal. You're helping out a lot of people. We really appreciate you guys coming down here. We want to talk about some other other college basketball in town. From over the weekend, and we're gonna get to that in a second. Did you see? I was watching the Arizona BYU game last night. I thought the officiating got super suspect in the final minutes. They could just be. It just could have been just bad, or the the crowd noise making a huge impact, which leads to a couple of different things I wanted to talk about. One of them, Bennett Woods talked about, and we're gonna get to that in a second, but. Ben brought up the idea or the conversation of he wished like baseball crowds could impact games as much as college basketball, college football, and the NFL can. And I think that stemmed from the NFL championship games being at the AFC and NFC championship spots, because they talked a little bit about neutral site for the World Series and stuff like that. Which leads to an interesting question I'm going to ask in a second. But last night, I mean, the officials in that game looked like they just like got to keep the game close is what it seemed like for BYU, because Arizona was leading by 14 points for most of the game yesterday until the final 3 minutes when BYU went on a 12-2 run aided by multiple questionable penalties and fouls. And the crowd noise was all over it. So maybe it was a crowd noise thing. But I was thinking, I'm like, man, it's just my mindset has changed now on a lot of these things after the probes that have happened in gambling. And did you see what happened? Did you see what happened over the weekend with UFC 324? Did anybody watch the UFC event? Patty the Batty participated in that. No, he didn't. He lost. But UFC Fight 324. One of the fights on the prelim got pulled because of irregular betting. So lightweight fight Michael Johnson and Alex Hernandez was quietly removed from UFC 324 early prelims just hours before the event. UFC CEO Dana White confirmed the fight was pulled due to betting irregularities. The alert came from the Gaming Integrity Service, prompting immediate action. Dana White said, we got called from the Gaming Integrity Service, and I said, I'm not doing this bleep again. So we pulled the fight. No public clarity on what the irregularities were, whether fighters, camps, or bettors are under suspicion. The optics alone were enough for the UFC to act. This has only happened one other time. Now, with gambling going on in sports, like, I'm okay with the UFC pulling this fight, but is there ever going to be a situation where there's some irregular betting going on before a game and it gets flagged before the game starts, and all of a sudden they cancel or postpone a professional sporting event like a Major League Baseball game or a college football game, or I said major. I know I said professional, but any of these other events? I mean, what do you think about that? Do you think it's like, to me, I feel like that is probably on the horizon, because the gambling has gotten to an effect where all of these gambling sites now red flag stuff all the time. And it's an interesting topic of discussion when it comes to, they make money on the betting and it leads more people to watch, but all of a sudden it's the conflict of interest, right? It's like, I know we're making a lot of money on this particular deal, but now our players are susceptible to problems. But at the same time, with all of the new sites and gambling sites flagging stuff, you get a lot of the foul play that's involved. But to me, being able to could you imagine them canceling a Padres game on a Friday because they have irregular gambling? I feel like at the UFC you could do it because they don't have a lot to lose and it's a prelim, but I don't think a lot of teams can afford to do that.
I don't think you can just straight up.
It's our guy Rod
cancel
in the house.
Game.
Donated blood today. Rod donated blood.
Yeah,
Rod challenged all of the listeners and everybody in the chat to donate blood, and he came down here first one,
bright and early,
out of the group.
Oh, there's another one in there apparently. So
there we go.
We got a couple people here.
There we go. Rod's rounding them up. We appreciate Rod donating blood. But back to the UFC canceled a fight because of irregular gambling.
It sounds like a CBA issue. I can't see them having 45,000 people, at least in the case of Petco Park here, show up to a game only to say, hey, it's been flagged, go home. I cannot see that. What I can see them is saying is, hey, there's irregularity around a certain player, maybe, and forcing the team to bench players, sending him for that reason, which is why I say it has to be a CBA thing, because there's no way the union would allow you to just bench a player.
If you suspend a player like that without, then you have to investigate it, right? Like, because then that way, what you could do is, there's ways you could put a bunch of money on one guy to hit something on the other team to make them get suspended by Major League Baseball.
Or you can go the other way and shut down bets for the game. Like you could also do that.
That would be the better deal.
Yeah,
I'm surprised that they didn't do. Well, they took all the money. They probably didn't want to give it back.
Well, that's. But if
you cancel the fight, then you have to give the money back anyway.
Yeah, you have to reimburse the money.
Unless there's like a loophole in that. But I remember, if I remember correctly, with the gambling situation, it usually gets voided. But that's a deal for Vegas, right? And that's a deal for all those entities. Could you imagine you have a player, like one of the star players on the Padres, they put a bunch of money swings one way on something, and then all of a sudden it's like, oh, why isn't so-and-so playing? Oh, well, like his over-under on on hits today went through the roof on something. Like everybody bet the lower on a half hit. Let's take this guy out of the lineup.
Yeah, no, you gotta. If I'm Vegas or if I'm one of these betting companies, and we are going to talk about betting in sports a little bit later on in the sports thread, but that's a thing that if you're flagging a game for irregular activity, a single game like a baseball game or an NFL game, you got to reimburse everyone. Say, hey, we're shutting the bets down. We're shutting the bets down for this game. So you can't make or lose money off of this game. I'm sorry. I think that would probably be the easiest way to do it, because again, you can't tell 45,000 people at Petco Park, hey, there were some betting irregularities, everyone has to go home now. or you definitely cannot get away with that in an NFL stadium. Have so many people show up, wait there all day long for a game, and then tell them to leave before the day even gets started. That, I think, is probably the best way to go about it, is just if it's flagged, if it looks really abnormal, just close the game off.
I also don't think there's enough, there's not enough money to get, especially in baseball. Baseball's got too many high-paid guys that they wouldn't want to risk unless it's like the thrill. I guess. Well, the NBA, right? The NBA has had some guys that make really good money that risk it all for a couple extra $1,000 just for the thrill. I don't see that being as prominent in baseball. The MMA is way more vulnerable because all the fighters are independent contractors. They don't get paid a lot for their violent sport. Their careers are going to be very short anyway. So, it's to me, it's a lot of, and it's probably easier to throw in certain situations too. Small camps, loose information pipelines, and you got tons of prop bets like round ending, method of victory, first strike or takedown. I think it's just easier in the MMA, but I think good on the UFC for shutting the fight down. I mean, they could get away with those things. Now, my question is, here's my question. This is a prelim. Do you think they'd shut down? I don't think they'd shut down a main card. I don't think they would.
I mean, if you want to keep the integrity,
they shut the bets down before they shut down the fight.
I would agree with that. Something would get shut down. For a preliminary fight to see like an exorbitant amount of money going into a preliminary fight, yeah, that's an easy decision. And whatever you may think about Dana White, he made the right decision there. It didn't affect the card. It didn't affect the night. And the UFC, because there are so many events going on. It's not like here at it's not like at Petco on a baseball night where we have AA, AAA, and the major leagues playing all on the same day. There was an issue with El Paso, so we're canceling that game, but you still get 2 games. UFC and boxing in that same vein have that ability to just lose one of the things and be like, oh, well, it was a fighter injury, something like that. That stuff happens. Baseball, football, basketball, they don't have that ability to just drop one thing off the agenda and be able to just, the show goes on as normal, because that is the one show. That is the one thing on the show.
They haven't talked about what the irregularities were, but the thing is, it's so easy now with the prop bets that the prop bets continue to be a problem. It's too hard to move things around on money lines and point spreads because there's too many factors of team entities and even like fighters and stuff, or it's just too hard to accomplish. It's the prop bets. I don't know. It might be time to start thinking about shutting down some of the prop bets, which a lot of people don't want to hear, because I think it's how a lot of people actually do well in some of the gambling.
Yeah, and that is another thing. I mean, you can load a prop bet. It may have been that. It may not have been the result of the fight. Maybe somebody loaded up on a prop bet that got flagged. So there are so many ways to try to manipulate money, especially in gambling, which is why you can say abolish gambling all you want. The reason why
they've already opened up that can, though.
The reason why what we saw happen with the NBA and the results of what happened there, and this is because they made it legal and they put laws around it, and they put a structure around gambling to allow these sort of red flags and these things that happen. The ways to catch suspicious activity allowed it to happen. So legalizing it was actually better, because if you don't, then it just goes underground again and all of this stuff goes away. You never know about it.
Who knows what kind of threats are made and everything like that. It's very interesting that you saw that get flagged and the UFC just shuts down a fight. The other topic of the, from that BYU Arizona game that actually led me to think about what Ben and Woods were saying today was the crowd noise and the effect, because I thought that could have affected that game last night as well. But the crowd noise and the effect of crowd noise in certain sports, in football, it makes a huge impact. In basketball, basketball is probably the biggest impact, especially when it comes to officiating. And I thought BYU's crowd last night was ruckus. I mean, down 14 points, they were making a ton of noise. But Ben brought up a good question today that I wanted to discuss a little bit. And that is, I think, and they're going to ask some players. If we get a player on Saturday, we got to ask them this question. When is the best time to try to make an impact as a crowd in a baseball game? Is it when your team is hitting, or is it when your team is pitching? Who benefits more from the crowd? Because in other sports, when to get loud. Like in basketball, you want your defense out. It's when you're on defense, right? You want to make it a little bit more aggressive for the offense and make it a little bit more panic for the offense. Same thing in football. Crowd's going nuts when your defense is on the field, silent when the offense is on the field. But for baseball, when's the best time to get on your feet? Like Jackson Merrill's is up with the bases loaded and a 3-2 count. Is that when you want to make a ton of noise? Like, who does that benefit? Does that benefit the pitcher, or does that benefit the hitter? Does it benefit the hitter, put the pressure on the pitcher to try to make a pitch when he's pitching in a hostile crowd? I mean, the crowd's just making noise, right? So, Paul and Woods talked about momentum. I think momentum's probably a big play there. But to me, when I look at that situation, it's hard to impact a baseball game with the crowd sometimes.
Yeah, I mean, it is because, you think about it, of course, as you don't know which one, because you want your hitter to concentrate, but you also want your pitcher to concentrate too. So that's kind of that goes with the offense, being quiet while you're on offense, and then the defense, doing their thing. I also think it's probably a little bit harder in baseball just because we see so much of the personalities of the umpires that we know that they're not going to take any bleep from anyone. It doesn't matter what sides, because, we see it so often in Major League Baseball, how often the umpires want to make the game about themselves. I don't think baseball umpires get rattled in the same way as other sports officiating crews do.
No, they don't. They definitely don't. They don't even come close to that. They're also a little bit further away and everything like that too. So I think it's interesting. I want to ask the players. I'd love to know. I'd love to know the breakdown on when they want to be. Do hitters want the crowd making a ton of noise? I feel like the Padres hitters feed off that crowd. But I also feel like Jason Adam, I feel like he's a guy that feeds off the crowd noise too when he's pitching. Maybe it's just baseball is just different, right? It doesn't have that same impact when it comes to the impact of the game. There's too many factors. There's too many failures in baseball to make. There's not a thing that's rattles baseball players too much.
And apparently, speaking of Jason Adam, according to Rod, Jason Adam was here throwing a little bit earlier.
Wow,
so
little rehab stint?
I guess so. I mean, again, and the fact that he's even throwing right now after what we expected.
Well, that last report that we got sounded like he was I'm going to be ready for opening day. What? Yeah, excuse me? You're supposed to miss half the season. You're supposed to miss the first couple of months. It was we're going to miss him for most of 2026, and then the next one's maybe just a couple of months, and then it was when he was on with Sam, he told Sam that he wants to be ready by opening day. I mean, if he's already throwing now, I'd like to see. I mean, if he pitches in order to be be ready to go for opening day, they have to give him innings at spring training. If he gets innings at spring training, there's a really good chance he's pitching in the first month of the season, which that's a huge upgrade to this Padres bullpen that already is loaded. Because when you talked about during the offseason about the Padres bullpen, you were talking about having to fill in spots without Jason. We're going to have to miss Jason Adam for a little bit. But he
wasn't even in the conversation.
The Four Horsemen's back, baby. Four Horsemen's back.
If Jason Adam is pitching in games in spring training and makes the opening day roster, he's Superman. With that injury, again, he was not supposed to be back until after the All-Star break, right around the trade deadline was when the original timeline was given. If he is on the opening day roster, he is Superman. I don't know what else to say.
Let's talk about the final thing here in this opening segment. Our opening hour. We talked briefly about the Aztecs in the last segment. UCSD had a tough loss against the Anteaters of UC Irvine. They lost 61-59, drops into 5-4 in Big West Conference play. That puts them 2 games behind Irvine. They still get to play Irvine one more time on the road. They got the tiebreaker as of right now against Hawaii after beating the Rainbow Warriors. But right now, UCSD really needed that win against the Anteaters. They lose by 2. They're playing behind the 8 ball, and they're going to have to try to climb their way out of what is now a 2-game hole behind Irvine. But it gets to the point now when you're in the Big West Conference, though, that is a one-bid league. You just got to get hot in Vegas. You're trying to set yourself up for the best type of success in the tournament. That's what that's about. For San Diego, they're trying to not play in the first day, which is the Thursday of that weekend. They want to get able to get a little bit more of a bye. They're competing in the middle block. Took a big loss to Santa Clara, but Santa Clara, to me, is a tournament team. They are listed in Joe Lunardi's first 4 out right now. San Diego State, I wanted to get to that. In the latest bracketology, listed as an 11 seed, as the Mountain West Conference champion, potentially playing Louisville in the first round, Oklahoma City. We are hosting the NCAA tournament in the first 2 rounds at Viejas Arena here in San Diego. I would expect Arizona to be in it. Whatever 16 seed they get will be who they got. They got Georgia and Utah State, and potentially New Mexico, Virginia Tech winner playing Tennessee, and Texas Tech playing Portland State. It's a pretty big-time college basketball potentially coming here to San Diego. When we come back, we will get to our baseball hour, talking about some teams that might surprise some people this baseball season. Braden Surprenant Show, San Diego's #1 sports station, 97 through the Fan.
Big City is absolutely a place.
Run that stupid game, brother.
Thank you.
Yeah, and I don't know why.
You want a shirt? That's so lame. Now what? Swing like this. Where's it gonna go? Left or right?
Fucking foul it off.
Yeah, I'd rather do that than hit it in the pie.
Hit a ball like that a day in my life. So
Yeah,
why
well,
should I
you
start now?
because it's a different sport. That's why. Here, make sure you do the pull-up.
Why don't we swing like that to hit line drives?
Huh? Just hitting, spraying it. I mean, have you seen Luis Ariz swing a stick?
Yeah, he don't swing like that.
He might do that.
He does that as practice swing.
Your first appeal of the
10
day.
teams want to sign him. Nice piece. Nice ball, nice ball. That's a run, tied it up. Where's my cutoff guy? That's all I gotta say. Okay, let's go. Like this.
Emerge from behind the track.
Big City is absolutely a place.
Run that stupid game, brother.
Thank you.
Yeah, and I don't know why.
You want a shirt? That's so lame. Now what? Swing like this. Where's it gonna go? Left or right?
Fucking foul it off.
Yeah, I'd rather do that than hit it in the pie.
Hit a ball like that a day in my life. So
Yeah,
why
well,
should I
you
start now?
because it's a different sport. That's why. Here, make sure you do the pull-up.
Why don't we swing like that to hit line drives?
Huh? Just hitting, spraying it. I mean, have you seen Luis Ariz swing a stick?
Yeah, he don't swing like that.
He might do that.
He does that as practice swing.
Your first appeal of the
10
day.
teams want to sign him.
Oh, I know. Nice piece.
Nice piece. Nice ball, nice ball. That's a run, tied it up. Where's my cutoff guy? That's all I gotta say. Okay, let's go. Like this. Swing like this. Where's it gonna go? Left or right? Fucking foul it off. Yeah, I'd rather do that than hit it in the pie. Hit a ball like that a day in my life. So why should I start now?
Your first appeal of the day. 10 teams want to sign him.
Nice piece. Nice ball, nice ball. That's a run, tied it up. Where's my cutoff guy? That's all I gotta say. Okay, let's go. Like this.
Emerge from behind the track.
Big City is absolutely a place.
Run that stupid game, brother.
Thank you.
Yeah, and I don't know why.
You want a shirt? That's so lame. Now what? Swing like this. Where's it gonna go? Left or right?
Fucking foul it off.
Yeah, I'd rather do that than hit it in the pie.
Hit a ball like that a day in my life. So
Yeah,
why
well,
should I
you
start now?
because it's a different sport. That's why. Here, make sure you do the pull-up.
Why don't we swing like that to hit line drives?
Huh? Just hitting, spraying it. I mean, have you seen Luis Ariz swing a stick?
Yeah, he don't swing like that.
He might do that.
He does that as practice swing.
Your first appeal of the
10
day.
teams want to sign him. Nice piece. Nice ball. That's a run. Tied it up. Where's my cutoff guy? That's all I gotta say. Okay, let's go. Like this.
Emerge from behind the trap.
Atlantic City is absolutely a place.
Run that stupid game, brother.
Thank you.
Yeah. I don't know
You
why.
want a shirt? That's so lame. That what? Swing like this. Where's it gonna go? Left or right?
Fucking foul it off.
Yeah, I'd rather do that than hit it in a pie.
Hit a ball like that a day in my life. So
Yeah,
why
well,
should I
you
start now?
because it's a different sport. That's why. Here, make sure you do the pull-up.
Why don't we swing like that to hit line drives?
Huh? Just hitting, spraying it. I mean, have you seen Luis Ariz swing a stick?
Yeah, he don't swing like that.
He might do that.
He does that as his practice swing.
Your first Nabila of the
10
day.
teams want to sign him. Nice piece. Nice ball. That's a run. Tied it up. Where's my cutoff guy? That's all I gotta say. Back here at the Blood Drive at Petco Park, the San Diego Padres Blood Drive, helping the San Diego Blood Bank try to get some walk-ins today. We are going to be open down here from 9 in the morning. Opened at 9 this morning. We're going to go until 6 o'clock tonight. So you have some time during your lunch break. You have some time after work today to come down here. It's a beautiful day downtown. Make the most of it. Come on down and enjoy the day in America's finest city. Go down by the water if you want. We had a couple of people in the chat donating blood today. Rod was down here, called everybody out in the chat to come on down. He came down, donated blood, heading over to Mona Lisa's after. What a day. You know what? Rod's making a day out of it. We love it. That little mug he had, thermos, Yeti, whatever you want to call it, that they made for Rod
that was really
for
cool.
winning the biggest fan was awesome. It's a 1998 like pinstripe, white pinstripe look. It had the old 98 logo on it. It says #1 fan. And the bottom of the Yeti thing, I don't want to say Yeti because that's a company. But like, you know what I'm talking about. Like one of these things, right?
Picking out a thermos for you.
Yeah, there you go. The cool part about that is it had a speaker on the bottom that we have been on, apparently. We have been on fridges, and we have now been on water bottles, a.k.a. coffee mugs. That's amazing. Have a day, Rod. Yeah, there you go. Fridge watcher. There you go. Right on cue. Guy's watching on his fridge. We love it. Wherever you get your podcasts and wherever you can stream our content. Apparently, you can watch YouTube videos on fridges now. Take that for what it's worth. That sounds great. Anyway, he's Frank Marchese. I'm Braden Surprenant. We're here live at the San Diego Padres Blood Drive. We're going to have Claudine Van Gonka on in the noon hour to tell you everything you need to know about donating blood today and see where we're at in terms of donations and everything like that, what you get when you come down here. There's a couple of perks of that as well. But here in the 11 o'clock hour, it is the baseball hour. Time to talk about what's going on in Major League Baseball. But right now, they have a list of 5 teams that are expected to break out in 2026. This is what came out on ESPN yesterday. And with this article, these are the teams that did not have great wins last year, or did not have a lot of wins last year, did not have great seasons that could be playoff level teams. So we'll start with this list and kind of break down whether or not we agree or disagree with this list and see what the competition level is like for the Padres. Again, I continue to say it. Now, they have some holes still. It'd be nice for them to get a first baseman. They really need another starting pitcher, right? So these are some of the things that the Padres need to add to their roster before opening day or at some point during the season. But that being said, I still like the Padres lineup more than a lot of other lineups in Major League Baseball, especially in the National League, who they are competing with for a playoff spot. Can one of these teams come up and get them? We'll find out. All right, Frank, let's get to some of these potential worst to first, bad years to good years, surprising teams in 2026?
Yeah, absolutely. First of all, the Atlanta Bravos are the first team on this list. They have a baseline of 80 wins with a target of 90. A probability of hitting that goal is the best on the list. It'd be a 59%. The 2021 Arizona Diamondbacks 110 loss season, driven largely by pitching injuries, offers a potential roadmap for the Braves' rebound after their own injury-plagued collapse. Arizona cut nearly a run per game off its runs allowed for the following year, won 22 more games, and reached the World Series by 2023. Atlanta has similarly declined for 2 straight seasons, slipping from 89 to 76 wins amid injuries, and are optimistic. Injuries to stars like Ronald Acuna and Spencer Strider, skip the line, along with broader underperformance. Projections are optimistic. Simulations peg the Braves for about 11 more wins than their baseline at 80, but continued health concerns, including a hand injury to Ha-Seong Kim, underscore how fragile that optimism remains.
I want to start off by saying that I don't think if the Atlanta Braves, so here's the thing with surprising teams, and Bradford Doolittle put this list together on ESPN.com. It goes more full detail in this article on ESPN.com. I don't see the Braves being a surprise team because I don't think if the Atlanta Braves have a good season next year, I really don't think it would be that surprising because the Atlanta Braves have been a mainstay in the National League for the last decade plus. Now, the last couple of years, it's been injury plagued and they haven't been able to have success. But even 2 years ago, when they were injury plagued, they still made the playoffs. They just ran out of pitch. They ran out of pitching against the Padres, and a Padres team that was a lot better and playing a lot better at the time. But Atlanta has a lot of young stars under contract for a while. Now, some of them are starting to approach to the end because they signed these guys when they're like 20 years old, and that's going to be interesting. Do they hang on to Ronald Acuna Jr. in the future, or do they decide to trade him, get something out of him? Are they going to be able to afford to re-sign Ronald Acuna Jr. or some of these other young players that they have? Like, I don't think, based on the way Ozzie Albies has played on this contract, I can't imagine him coming back at all. But maybe at a lower deal. I look at this Braves team. It's still built to be a team that is competitive. It's still built to be one of the better teams in the National League. I don't find them to be a surprising team next year, but I think they're going to be a team that competes. And the reason is I think they're going to have a more healthier season this year, even though Ha-Seong Kim is not going to be out for 3 to 4 months to get things started. But they've added a lot of good pieces, and I think they're a good, solid baseball team in the National League and one that's going to compete in what is a very balanced and competitive National League East.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, Spencer Strider coming off of his continuous injuries. I believe Spencer Schwellenbach had some injury issues as well last year. Chris Sale had some injury issues going from 2024. And the Braves also got off to just a horrific start. Go back to April 15th of last year. They were sitting at 5-12, stone dead last in the National League East. And that is a team that is way too good for the failures of last year to continue, even with players coming back from injury and hopefully having a good start. Now, you also have to remember they do have a new manager that is coming in as well. Brian Snitker is not going to be heading that team coming into this year. And the Braves have a very solid team. They continue to have a very solid team, and they will still have a very solid team. And fortunately for the Padres, at least, I'm looking through their schedule right now. I don't think the Bravos are here for quite some time. They're here the 22nd through the 24th of June. So there's going to be some time there for the Bravos to possibly get injured and also to possibly get healthy by the time they come out here to Petco Park.
I think the Braves are a pretty solid team. And I will buy the fact that they're going to be a bounce-back team this year. I will not buy the fact that it'd be surprising because I don't think it'd be that surprising. All right, let's get to the other team here.
Yes. Number 2 on this list is we have the Baltimore Orioles. Baseline win is at 80. Target wins is also at 90. Their probability of success on this goal is 35%, the second most on this list. Collapse seasons aren't always a dead end, and the Orioles look like the latest team positioned for a rebound. History shows teams like the 2001 Houston Astros falling apart largely because of pitching, then bouncing back once arms emerged and health normalized. Baltimore followed a similar path last year, posting the biggest shortfall versus expectations in baseball while slipping in both offense and run prevention, largely due to injuries. Projections point to improvement into the mid-80s in wins, though not a full return to their 2024 level. Better health should help Gunnar Henderson regressing closer to his career norms. Would be a major boost, but Adley Rutschman's continued offensive decline remains a concern. The Orioles have raised their floor by adding Ryan Helsley and Pete Alonso, but if they truly want to contend again, they still need one more frontline starter.
Well, Baltimore's interesting because I thought they finished in second place for the award to hang the banner of winning the offseason. I think it's a close second. They might still have a chance. You know what? We still got some time left. They could potentially make some moves. But Baltimore, they had a little bit of regression last year. They need to add, like you mentioned, they got to add a frontline starter. They've needed starting pitching for a long time. They got a young core, very good group of players. Only Houston lost more player value to injury last year than Baltimore. You would expect some regressions from Gunnar Henderson and Adley Rutschman like you saw last year. And here's the difference now. So they came up to the league and had a good start. League adjusted to Rutschman, adjusted to Gunnar Henderson. They need to adjust back. And if they're the players that they think they are, which I think they are, they're going to bounce back and be able to be competitive. Now, that's a very tough division in the American League East right now. You look at the Blue Jays, they loaded up after making the World Series last year. You look at, Baltimore, obviously themselves made a lot of moves this offseason. The Yankees are still a very competitive baseball team. They got a lot of, stars on their team. The Boston Red Sox made a lot of moves this offseason as well. And then Tampa's usually just scrappy in general. So with that, I think it's going to be hard for them to bounce back, but I believe that they are a team that's going to have a little bit better of a season in 2026 than they did in 2025 because they were a playoff team and then they were just so bad last year. And it was surprising at the beginning part of the season. But they still need to add a frontline starter if they really want to make that huge jump.
Yeah, and they did get better in the bullpen. Of course, they got Pete Alonso, as we've noted multiple times on this show. But, yeah, I think the starting pitcher is really what is holding them back right now.
We got a couple more teams that we want to look at in just a little bit when we come back because there's a couple of National League teams. Now, one of them is very interesting. This is a team that we don't talk about a lot. It's a team that, usually isn't part of the conversation. They were a little bit more active in the offseason this year. Didn't really get a whole lot, but could they be part of the National League conversation for a playoff spot? We'll tell you who that team is next on the Braden Surprenant Show, San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan. I want to thank Adam Klug, who's helping us out today. He is back in our Bill House studios. We know how. Frank Marchese and myself, Braden Surprenant, are at Petco Park here at Gallagher Square at the San Diego Padres Blood Drive, trying to benefit a lot of local people here in San Diego that need blood donations. We need a lot of them. So go out there and help your community. Come down to the blood drive. They're going to be open down here until 6 o'clock tonight. And accepting walk-ins. They do want to try to get a lot of walk-ins today. And when you come down here, again, there's free parking at the tailgate lot as well as the premier lot. Make a nice little stroll over to the right field gate entrance, the East Village gate entrance. You walk in, you check in, you fill out some paperwork, you get assigned to a bus to donate. While you're there, you fill out a couple of different things, donate some blood. They have food and snacks for all of the people that are donating blood today. They also have a blood drive t-shirt that they are giving away. It's actually a long sleeve shirt. It's nice that they are giving to all people that donate blood today, as well as other Padres swag. The Padres have donated a lot of their giveaways and stuff that you can get. I saw a guy walking out with a bobblehead and some other things. So the Padres have some swag that they're giving away today as well. So it's a good time. It's a beautiful day down here in America's finest city. Come out, donate blood, and you're helping a lot of people and changing a lot of lives. And we appreciate you guys coming down and being a part of this today. We're going to have Claudine on in about 40 minutes or so. Claudine Van Gonka from the San Diego Blood Bank. She will be joining us to give us an update on how the blood donations are going, as well as some stories that she has from other survivors. I am one of those survivor beneficiary people. I told my story earlier on today in the 10 a.m. hour. Without the blood bank, I would not be sitting here doing this radio show. So obviously very much, appreciative of the people that donated blood back in the 1990s to keep me alive when I was born. And so trying to help give back as much as I can, trying to, bring awareness to the cause and try to get people down here to donate blood. As a walk-in, Frank Marchese said he was going to donate some today. It's a big thank you to Frank before he does that. So let me know what cool swag you get with the blood donations. But I know he's going to stick around and donate some blood. And if you got some time today, really appreciate it. They are going to be giving those shirts to everybody that donates blood throughout the rest of the month. So they'll have a lot of other pop-up spots, and we'll talk to Claudine about how your company can help sponsor a blood donation as well. I want to remind everybody to listen at 1 o'clock for us to announce today's biggest fan for a chance to qualify for a night in our Odyssey Suite at a future Padres game with all the fan staff. Register your name at 972thefantasy.com/biggest fan in order to potentially have your name called. Okay.
Aztec tickets to give away today as well.
Oh, wow.
Against
Aztec
Colorado
tickets
State.
against Colorado State, against Cam the Ram. Huh? How about that?
Road team should really get into the spirit of bringing their mascot on the road.
They do it for football. Why don't they? It's probably because there's too many games in basketball. Travel a mascot probably save them some money. Because they travel with the team.
They should know by now that San Diego has a radio producer that is trying to cross every mascot he can off his mascot bingo board. So far.
I'm sorry, producer and on-air host myself. We're the king of the mascots here.
We're desperately trying to get the Rockies to send Dinger out here for a weekend.
My mom the other day, there was a. Do you see that? They have that Uber Eats commercial now with Matthew McConaughey.
Yes, yeah.
And he's like just spewing his BS that he would in like a show to the Niners mascot. My mom was like, "What's that guy's name?" And I'm like, "I don't know. I don't know the San Francisco 49ers mascot's name.
Niner the Miner. I don't know.
What is his name?
Is it? Yeah. Now we got to look it up. See
49ers.
See what we've done.
Mascot name. That's Sourdough Sam.
Sourdough
Sam.
Okay, I like Niner the Miner better.
Sourdough Sam is great. Is that sponsored by Bodine? That's amazing. Sourdough Sam.
Oh, boy.
49er mascot. I didn't know that was the case. Maybe that, you know what? It makes a lot of sense now why he's in that commercial. Because I didn't hear the commercial, but Matthew McConaughey is probably spewing the Sourdough Sam stuff. The Friar was out here. Did you take a picture of the Friar earlier? I'm sure he'll be making his rounds again.
That, and I also have a lot more opportunity to see the Friar than I do Sourdough Sam.
Every time you see the Friar, you got to take a picture of the Friar. That's the rule. That's the rule. You took a picture with the fake Bills mascot.
I did. Do they still have the? I know that I'm assuming they're not here today, but do they still have the Petco dog and cat running around?
Blue Muse and Red Ruff.
Yeah.
I see them walking around sometimes. I don't see them at the blood drives. They're here at the big games though. And then they have like the actual dogs now. The golden retriever mascots.
This season, that is my goal. I need to get a picture, especially with Rookie. I love little Rookie. I got to get a picture with all three of them. I love Rookie so much.
We had our promo team here with Presley. They went and made a coffee run, asked if we wanted anything. And Frank's order for the coffee run was not coffee. It was not any type of beverage. It was,
please,
can you get me the cutest looking cake pop you can? That was what his order was.
Well, I wanted the raccoon pop, but apparently Starbucks doesn't sell those anymore.
Maybe just the one downtown does it.
But no, because there's a couple I've been to that.
Which ones did you get over there?
I got a birthday cake pop and I got the Valentine's Day.
Wow.
But it's always the season for raccoons. Come on. Yeah, I got the Valentine's Day pop here too.
Oh, look at that. Well done. That is the cutest one I guess they could have found.
Well, which, I mean, hey, is what it is.
That's a heck of a coffee order, Frank. Would you like some coffee? Actually, I would.
See, now I didn't think of it until after I ate it. I don't know how happy the blood bank would be if I gave them what I'm guessing.
Caffeinated.
I think
blood. Yeah, you probably can't have the caffeine before.
I think O positive mixed with birthday cakes with birthday cakes Starbucks pop blood. I don't know.
You have access to those snacks. You got to see the snack spread over there. Just got to get sugar and stuff back in your system. Anyway.
Oh, you don't think the icing on the birthday cake pop?
No, I do.
Sugar.
I'm just saying you're okay probably eating those cake pops. I can't. That was his coffee order. I mean, I guess you're donating blood today, so you don't want the. I mean, there's things.
Which is why I brought water.
That's
so I'm
good.
like, I'm donating blood today. Let me drink clear, and then birthday cake and cute pop, please. Thank you.
The cutest cake pop you could find. Yeah. Okay. Great Starbucks order.
I am a child.
You are a child. All right, let's get to the couple of teams here that potentially could be breakout teams. One of them I look at and I just LOL at. One of them is not as crazy as you think, and the other one is. They were in the playoffs last year, and they made a run in the playoffs. I don't know why they'd be a surprising breakout team. Let's start with that one, the one in Chicago, the Chicago Cubs, right? The Chicago Cubs listed on Bradford Doolittle's, breakout teams. I mean, they won 92 games last year and made the playoffs. Is it really that much of a surprising team if they ended up doing better than that next year? I mean, I look at this as being teams that aren't very good that are going to make a push to make the playoffs, not a team that comes in as, we won 92 games, we won a playoff series against the Padres, and then we went to Milwaukee. I don't find that being a surprise team. Why does Bradford Doolittle think they are a surprise team?
I don't understand it. The Cubs have already won 92 games and made the playoffs. The bar is high. A breakout here means being a World Series contender.
Were they not a World Series? Can you be a playoff team and not be a World Series contender? I guess the Reds when they played the Dodgers. I mean, if you make the playoffs, you are contending for a World Series.
But then again, to be fair, if you were the number 6 seed last year, all you were doing was playing for the right to lose to the Dodgers. That's really all you were doing.
It's baseball, though. You never know what can happen. Stuff can happen,
we kind of knew what was going to happen, and it did.
Pitch couldn't go their way. Maybe pitch doesn't go their way.
They have made roster upgrades. Bullpen depth has improved. Their rotation has gotten better. The biggest move, though, of course, is even though you lost Kyle Tucker, you bring in former teammate Alex Bregman on a 5-year, $175 million deal. However, Bregman is not expected to just completely replace what you lost with Kyle Tucker. The value here is leadership, plate discipline, a defensive upgrade, and lineup balance. Looking as a comparison model, I mean, we talked about the Braves looking at the 2021 Arizona Diamondbacks. The comparison model here for the Cubbies would be the 2018 Red Sox by adding JD Martinez. They didn't really make too many big upgrades. They lost a star. They gained another one back with JD Martinez and ended up winning the World Series that year. So question would be, if Bregman unlocks the lineup culturally and competitively, are the Cubs a real threat in the National League? And I think it goes back to what we were talking about at the beginning of last year before the Brewers really made that step, is NL Central is really the Cubs division to lose.
I think so too, but every year I count out Milwaukee, they put a competitive team together, because almost every year Milwaukee goes, let's trade some of our big stars away and look like we're not going to be competitive. And then they put together good teams. I mean, it's hard to count out Milwaukee a lot of times. I mean, last year was the same thing with, trading away players. And that was the last couple of years. Same thing when they, made that deal with the Padres, got rid of Josh Hader at the deadline. I mean, this is an organization that is a small market club that is trying to compete as much as they can with the finances they have. They trade Freddie Peralta, and you know what? They'll probably have some young guy come up, and they'll be competitive. And so to me, it's a two-team race. I mean, we'll see about the Reds. The Reds have been, kind of threatening, but not really. They usually don't have enough pitching to make it through. I would give the Cubs still the favorite to win the division. And to me, they're already a World Series contender. I don't think they, make a huge jump to be even more of a World Series contender. I will agree the fact that they are expected to be better next year, but I put them in the same category as the Braves, but slightly different. Like last year, the Braves weren't very good. They were banged up with injuries too early in the season. They had the Jerkson Profar suspension as well. It was a lot of stuff that they couldn't overcome. But I put them in the same category as the Braves of, if they make the playoffs and if they are a contending team, it's not a surprise. It's not surprising to me.
No, not
the
at
Cubs,
all.
I think, are one of the teams that you would expect to have to compete with in the National League for a playoff spot. Let's get to the LOL team. Just go down south from the Cubs, and that's the Chicago White Sox, who are expected to be better according to Bradford Doolittle.
Yeah, breakout in this context means be less bad than they were the year before.
Slightly better?
Yeah, be less not good. Their projected wins, their baseline wins is 61, so it's still a 100-loss season, but their target winning is 71 wins. Their breakout probability is only at 12%, so it's not great. Coming off a 19-win improvement, which is hard to repeat. Okay, let's put that 19 wins in context, please. They went from being the worst team in the history of the sport,
correct,
to 19 wins.
To 19 wins
to
better.
A 19 win positive. It's not
like
19.
They were 19 wins better than the worst team ever.
It's not like they went 80 and 82 and then won 99 games.
Right.
They went from being the worst to being slightly not the worst anymore. Their similar arc is going to be the 2022 Baltimore Orioles, who we discussed earlier on the list. They have young prospects arriving, a young core getting its first real crack at the major leagues. They are no way, shape, or form a playoff team yet, but the foundation is starting to form with more big league ready talent and direction finally visible. The last time we talked about this with the Chicago White Sox, from what I can remember, was the Abreu, Moncada. There was another one.
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah,
they had all these prospects.
Yeah, that Abreu, Moncada, and then Luis Robert was the last step in that growth. That was the last time we really heard about this from the White Sox. And really, Abreu is the only one that panned out to be legit.
But the difference was, they did the comparison with Baltimore. The difference is Baltimore had a top farm system for 3 or 4 years in a row. The White Sox don't. The White Sox don't have a top farm system. The White Sox most recent farm system rankings on MLB.com had them at 17 at the midseason. And if I recall correctly, they haven't been dominating the top 5 for the last couple of years. So the difference with that is Baltimore had a really good farm system year in and year out, and then all of those players got to the big leagues, and then they had a big breakout.
Yeah, that's
in
Gunnar
2022.
Henderson. That's Gunnar
Right.
Henderson. That's Adley Rutschman, and that was at this tail end of it. Now it's Jackson Holiday that you're talking about coming up to the big league team.
But the White Sox don't necessarily have that. If I look at, they're down to 17 from the latest one that they put out. At 2025 preseason rank was 6th. The fact that they dropped all the way down to 17th from that spot is crazy to me. 2024 midseason rank was 11. 2024 preseason rank was 20. 2023 midseason rank was 20. That tells me those are the players that are coming up right now. And that young core is not one of the best in Major League Baseball. There's a massive difference there. That's why I LOL at the Chicago White Sox being a surprise team. Are they going to be slightly better than last year? It's hard to be much worse than the last 2 years of the Chicago White Sox. You know what? It's hard to be worse. I know they made a couple of additions during the offseason, but it's not going to be enough to move the needle. I like Will Venable. I think he's in for a tough battle over there in Chicago to try to turn things around because, as we've mentioned before, organizations stink from the top. The fish smells from the head. And Jerry Reinsdorf still owns the White Sox. And as long as Jerry Reinsdorf owns the White Sox, they are not going to be successful. Now, we got to take a quick break. I teased it last segment. We're going to get to this team. There might be a team in the National League we're not talking about that could flip what's going on in the postseason, which means the Padres might have to deal with them as a wild card. I'll tell you that team and why I believe the surprise story when we come back on the Braden Surprenant Show, San Diego Summer Sports Station 97 through the Fan. Oh, yes, the Knights of the Fan. Join us in the David P. Shapiro Fan Hotline. David P. Shapiro, criminal defense attorneys helping good people regain control of their future when charged with a crime since 2010. Visit davidpshapirolaw.com. Frank Marchese, Braden Surprenant out here live at the San Diego Padres Blood Drive, helping the San Diego Blood Bank. We're going to have Claudine Van Gonka on in the next segment to talk about the people you are impacting, the people you're helping by coming out and donating blood, how to donate blood today, what the process is like, how long it takes, and for people and organizations that want to be able to put on their own blood drive, how they're able to do that with the San Diego Blood Bank. We'll get to that at the top of the next hour in the noon hour. We are continuing our baseball coverage hour here on the Braden Surprenant Show. A lot of it has been with this breakout team, potential breakout teams in Major League Baseball for 2026. I look at this list. Some of them are kind of a reach in terms of like a surprise team that's going to scare everybody in the league when you have a team that made the playoffs 2 years before and a team that because of injuries didn't need to or ended up not making the playoffs but are still going to be good. And another team that was actually in the playoffs last year, the Chicago Cubs. Those two teams in the National League I don't find to be surprising. But this next team in the National League, I find to be a little surprising, but as I look at it, not that crazy to say they might have somewhat of a factor into the National League playoff race, which means would they impact the Padres' ability to get a playoff spot? I don't think their roster's better than the Padres, but they are doing things a little bit better, and they put themselves at a 29% breakout probability. Who is this team we're talking about?
That would be the Pittsburgh Pirates.
Shocker.
I know. Their model is the 2024 Kansas City Royals, the quote-unquote, hey, we actually tried blueprint, which already says a lot for your season. Their baseline wins are 73. Their target wins are 83. The Pirates already have a strong rotation and strong bullpen development. Their last offseason criticism was that they didn't spend enough. This year, they signed Ryan O'Hearn. They added bats via trade, Brandon Lau, Jake Mangum, and others. They are not expecting a 30-win leap. Even a 10-win jump puts them in the wild card mix for the 2026 season. This is one of those teams that could be a fight, that could propose a fight to the Brewers for that final wild card spot, same as the Cincinnati Reds. The question here would be, is trying a little finally enough, or is it still too little?
They added some pieces, and they got Paul Skeens, right? So they have some guys that be able to make it through the year and be competitive. I honestly think this is the best one on this list in terms of like biggest surprise. You can poke holes in all the other ones, right? The Cubs made the playoffs last year, won a playoff series, won 92 games. I already think they're a World Series contender. I think that's kind of a reach by Bradford Doolittle. The White Sox, as we go down this list, he made the comparison between them and the Baltimore Orioles, but the reality is they haven't had top farm systems like Baltimore has in the recent years to get that Baltimore surge that he's comparing them with. The White Sox to me are not, they might be a little bit better, but they're not going to be, enough to be a surprising team in Major League Baseball. And then you talk about the other two teams, the Atlanta Braves. The Atlanta Braves have been a team that has spent money and has competed and has won a World Series in the last, 5 years or so, back in 2021. I mean, that's a team that is injury caused. Like that, the injuries have been the big reason why they haven't been able to make it over the hump. So I poke holes in all of those. And then the last team that we talked about that's not the Pirates is the Baltimore Orioles. Like the Orioles had a down year last year, but they still have a young core. Like none of those teams are that surprising if they play well this year. The Pirates would be surprising. And at the same time, I think they could possibly be one of those teams that is a surprising team that competes in the National League. I really do, because you look at the division, they got to deal with the Cubs, right? But like Milwaukee and Cincinnati are beatable this year. St. Louis isn't trying to win in 2026. In fact, they probably will trade whoever's not tied down to the ship by the trade deadline. You look at the National League. I mean, the Pirates could be part of the conversation. I mean, I break down the Padres roster all the time. Padres roster is good enough to make the postseason as of right now. It's not a complete roster, but it's good enough to do so. And you start looking at some of the teams that might be right there competing. The Pirates, with the starting rotation they have and some of the young players they have, plus some additions with a little bit of spent money, they're going to be a lot more competitive. And I think they're right there and a couple of games out of a wild card spot when the season is over.
Yeah, and it also kind of depends on the Cincinnati Reds. There's a lot of competition, not just in the National League, but in that division as well. You would have to assume that one of the wild card spots, whether it be LA, San Diego, San Francisco, or Arizona, at least one of the wild card spots is going to the National League West. You also have to assume between the Mets, Phillies, and the Braves this season, and possibly even the Miami Marlins, the way they were in the fight last year, one of those wild card spots is also going to go to the East. So now it turns into a focus of who is going to come out of the Central. Expect the Cubs. It's their division to lose. You're fighting to see how far the Brewers have regressed by getting rid of the players that they have gotten rid of over this offseason. And then it's a fight between Pittsburgh and Cincinnati. Cincinnati went all in at the trade deadline. Remember, they got Brian Hayes from Pittsburgh last year to try to bolster up the back end of that team, try to bolster up that team as they also have young players coming up as well. So the Pirates, I have a feeling they actually are going to be in contention for it this year, especially if the Brewers fall off more than we expected and if Cincinnati can't get it together. I think Pittsburgh could be the one left to pick up the pieces.
It's amazing what Pittsburgh can do just trying to be compliant with a potential salary floor, right? Hey,
who'd have thought?
Spend a little money and all of a sudden you're a little bit more competitive.
We
it's
are
amazing
family.
How that works. So that's the surprise team. I think that team might have a little bit more success with the roster that they have constructed. Are you ready for a sports thread? Let's get to today's sports thread.
You know that group chat, the one that's always blowing up with the biggest sports takes, debates, and breaking news?
You got barbecue back there, and you didn't invite me?
Yeah, we've got that too. Welcome to the Sports Thread, where we break down the top 5 stories in sports, just like you would with your crew.
Oh, no! Disaster! What a bad idea!
No filters, no silence, just real talk. Brought to you by QC Kinetics. Stop sitting on the sidelines. QC Kinetics gets you back in the game without surgery. To learn how, visit QCkinetics.com.
All right, Frank, what we got going on in the sports world today?
We have, Adam, if you'd be so kind.
Number 1.
The MLS, through Soccer United Marketing, announced a multi-year partnership with Poly Market, yes, as we discussed in the first hour of the show, betting is coming to more sports, making this the league's exclusive prediction market partner across the MLS, the All-Star Game, MLS Cup, and Leagues Cup. The deal aims to enhance fan engagement by integrating real-time prediction market insights into MLS digital platforms, especially for live and second screen experiences. League officials framed the partnership as part of MLS's broader push towards innovation and growth ahead of this year's World Cup. Does integrating prediction market data meaningfully enhance fan engagement, or does it risk blurring the lines between interactive content and sports wagering?
Well, they keep adding these prediction markets. That's the new thing right now. Prediction markets, which is like a way to get around sports betting in certain states. It's a way to get around some of the rules because you're not betting on sports. You are making predictions on things. It's just making the waters even muddier. Teams or organizations are doing this obviously for money. There are some pros to this, of course, with like flagging big time events for uncharacteristic moves on the betting line, but at the same time, it starts to lose the fans start to lose a little bit of trust in a lot of this too. So MLS got to try to do it to make some money. Don't necessarily know if it's a good thing or not. I guess we'll wait to see. But like we saw with the UFC fight over the weekend, they'll knock one off for illicit gambling problems.
Yeah, absolutely. On to the next one.
Number 2.
This was the biggest news of the weekend, and I don't know how I forgot about this. The viral Weenie 500 is returning on Carb Day for the Indianapolis 500.
I'm sorry, the what?
The Wienermobile race.
That's awesome.
We played it. We played the whole
That's
race.
Right.
The Oscar Myers 6 Wienermobiles are racing again as part of the Carb Day festivities for the Indianapolis 500 after last year's event drew huge crowds trending on social media and boosted Oscar Myers hot dog sales by roughly 500,000 units. The 2026 edition will be broadcasted, not hidden away on an app. It'll be on Fox. We are getting the Weenie 500 on network television, baby. The race's success has come from fully leaning into the brand's playful tone, complete with themed commentary, regional hot dogs, and over-the-top traditions. Braden, why do you think something like this works so well?
I don't know, but I need a hot dog now. See, that's how it works. Right there.
500,000.
I watched the Pop-Tart Bowl, and I immediately want to go buy a bunch of Pop-Tarts. That's how this works. It's amazing the power of suggestion. As Matthew McConaughey has said on the Uber Eats commercial, sports are designed for you to buy food. Buy into the conspiracy theory. Anybody watch the Indianapolis 500? Nah. You're going to watch the Oscar Mayer Wiener race? Yeah, absolutely.
1.5 million.
I'll watch some hot dog mobiles driving around in circles. That sounds great.
Now, we are at Petco Park.
Yeah.
I will say Hebrew Nationals are better than Oscar Mayer.
I do think that's the case. That's not even, I'm not even like doing that for a promotional plug. I'd much rather have an all beef hot dog.
We just want to make that painfully clear. We do believe that Hebrew National is better than Oscar Mayer. Let's go to the next one.
Number 3.
But they don't have a hot dog mobile, so maybe they got to get one.
Yeah, I know, right? The Washington Commanders are set to hire Durante Jones, currently with the Vikings, as their new defensive coordinator, replacing Joe Witt. Jones, an NFL coach since 2016 with experience at LSU and under top defensive minds like Mike Zimmer and Brian Flores, will help rebuild a struggling Washington defense that ranked 27th in scoring and last in yards in 2025. How might hiring a younger, less experienced coordinator like Jones impact the Commanders' defensive performance compared to choosing a more veteran coach?
Sometimes going younger changes the energy in the building. Younger coaches are usually more fiery and ready to get after it. So you get the excitement and the excitement in the clubhouse, and you lose a little bit of the experience factor in big-time decision-making and big-time plays. So there are pros and cons to both. A lot of veteran coaches definitely bring a lot of experience and knowledge to the game. A lot of young coaches bring that energy, that vibe, that attack, that like killer mindset that you just don't get out of veteran coaches. So they needed a young, spirited, rah-rah guy to kind of improve the team morale. That's the perfect hire for them. Get somebody young that wants to get after it a little bit more than a veteran coach that's just more about the schematics. There's pros and cons to both, as I mentioned before, but Washington wants to get young. That's not a bad spot to go.
I think that's the last one we're going to have time for because we are pushing up against the top of the hour.
Pushing against the hard out of the top of the hour. We are going to be here live at the Blood Drive, San Diego Padres Blood Drive, up until 2 o'clock. Come on down, donate some blood, get some cool prizes for doing that as well. It's a beautiful day down here. Rod's been hanging out with us today. So come on down, say hi, donate some blood. When we come back, Claudine Van Gonka of the San Diego Blood Bank will join us live at Petco Park. Keep us updated on what's going on down here at the Blood Drive.
Come on, baby. Come on. Let's go. Oh, there we go. Did the director's cabinet give you that shirt? Did you block out the noise and just swing it? We got a bunch of guys that let the noise get into their heads and they're swinging the club. Okay. Ready. I like to think I'm making Kyle better. I've been hitting balls down the middle and Kyle's side. No, that's not good enough. All right, what goes further? Braden's drive or me throwing the football here? Oh! Shot. Wow.
Hey, put that one in between commercials.
Rocks. The next group coming up too. Ow! I don't know how good it is.
Punch, 1840. Ha ha!
I mean, Phillip Rivers.
He played quarterback in high school, by the way.
They didn't have many quarterbacks in Colorado.
Falcon got here. How we playing?
I could just put it in my bag. Do you have one of those? Do you have one of these? We didn't win, but.
Wow! That's Gary's 7th mulligan. They can pick up that other one.
Cigar guy.
Trade myself to their.
That's not a bad putt. Cut. Get there!
Oh, we got a bird, right?
Under now. That was a great putt by you, by the way. I don't know why you want to be on camera.
What? One. Hey, bud. Go. Come on, baby. Come on. Let's go. Oh, there we go. Did the director's cabinet give you that shirt? Did you block out the noise and just swing it? We got a bunch of guys that let the noise get into their heads and they're swinging the club. Okay. Ready. I like to think I'm making Kyle better. I've been hitting balls down the middle and Kyle's side. No, that's not good enough. All right, what goes further? Braden's drive or me throwing the football here? Oh!
Shot. Wow. Hey, put that one in between commercials.
Rocks.
The next group coming up too.
Ow! I don't know how good it is.
Punch, 1840. Ha ha!
I mean, Phillip Rivers.
He played quarterback in high school, by the way.
They didn't have many quarterbacks in Colorado.
Falcon got here. How we playing?
I could just put it in my bag. Do you have one of those? Do you have one of these? We didn't win, but.
Wow! That's Gary's 7th mulligan. They can pick up that other one.
Cigar guy.
Trade myself to their.
That's not a bad putt. Cut. Get there!
Oh, we got a bird, right?
Under now. That was a great putt by you, by the way. I don't know why you want to be on camera.
What? One. Hey, bud. Go. Come on, baby. Come on. Let's go. Oh, there we go. Did the director's cabinet give you that shirt? Did you block out the noise and just swing it? We got a bunch of guys that let the noise get into their heads and they're swinging the club. Okay. Ready. I like to think I'm making Kyle better. I've been hitting balls down the middle and Kyle decides, no, that's not good enough. All right, what goes further? Braden's drive or me throwing the football here? Oh! Shot. Wow. Hey, put that one in between commercials. Rocks. The next group coming up too. Ow! I don't know how good it is. Punch. 1840. Ha ha.
Phillip Rivers. God. He played quarterback in high school, by the way.
Falcon. They didn't have many quarterbacks in Colorado.
Falcon. We got here. How we
I could just put it in my bag. Do you have one of those? Do you have one of these? We didn't win, but.
Getting ready for the noon hour here at the San Diego Padres Blood Drive. I'm Braden Surprenant alongside Frank Marchese. We are here live at the San Diego Padres Blood Drive. We're here at Gallagher Square trying to raise awareness for the blood that the city needs and the community needs, a great community event. And joining us today, we do every time we do a blood bank or a blood drive. Claudine Van Gonka, she's the Director of Community Relations and Media here at San Diego Blood Bank. And Claudine, thanks again for having us down here. We love coming out, and what a beautiful day to come out to Petco Park and donate some blood.
Totally. We thank you guys so much for coming out and supporting.
Of course. We love being out here. Obviously, I told my story earlier. You've heard it multiple times. I try to get it out there as much as possible to connect people with the people that they're helping, because a lot of the times, the stigma is that you come on and your blood gets, put in a warehouse, and I don't know, who it helps, but the reality is you're helping a lot of people.
That is the thing. People don't realize, you're probably 6 degrees away, if not less, from somebody who needs a blood transfusion, because yes, it's the accident victims and the people who have surgeries, but it's also people who use it on the regular basis to treat things like anemia and cancer and things like that. So it's not like you really realize it until you meet someone or hear a story and go, that could be my brother or my mother or my friend.
So for today, and then we said it earlier, we've been saying it throughout the broadcast, super easy to donate blood. You guys have already had, appointments made, but looking for a lot of walk-ins today. We're going to be here till 6 o'clock. How could people come out here to Petco Park and donate blood?
Yeah, we make it very easy. So first and foremost, free parking for blood donors. That's a big deal downtown. So you can park for free at the Lexus Premier lot, which is catty corner from the box office. You can park in the tailgate lot. Then you just walk on over. The process is really easy. If you don't have an appointment, that's fine. Come on down. We'll get you your paperwork, get you in the bus. And the actual donation part of it, where you're actually in the chair, is less than 10 minutes. And then you're going to get a free limited edition Padres Winter Blood Drive long sleeve t-shirt. Super cool. The Padres have been very generous. They have some extra swag for you. And then you're on your way.
Yeah, snacks and all that fun stuff still here. It's a beautiful day, as mentioned before. We're talking with Claudine Van Gonka, Director of Community Relations and Media for the San Diego Blood Bank. And this isn't the only place you can donate blood. Obviously, you guys have a lot of different upcoming ones, but the big one in the wintertime was the Holiday Bowl blood drive. How have the blood donations been How were they for 2025?
Overall in 2025, we met our goals. We were able to provide the blood we needed to our hospital partners. The end of 2025, that holiday season is always tough, which is why the Padres stepped in and have their blood drive in January, which is National Blood Donor Month, to kind of get that supply back where it was. After the holidays, people were traveling and just getting back to work or getting sick, unfortunately, with the flu and not hosting their normal blood drives. So we're really still just ramping back up after the holidays, and all types are needed right now.
We're talking with Claudine Van Gonka of the San Diego Blood Bank here at the Padres Blood Drive at Petco Park. This is the Braden Surprenant Show on San Diego Summer Sports Station 97.3 The Fan. A couple other things, too. So future blood bank events, how can people – maybe they can't make it today, but there's a couple more that, I want to donate blood. I just don't know how to do it. How can people find a spot to go donate blood?
Yeah, we make it as easy as possible. So we have 9 blood donor centers here in San Diego, anywhere from Chula Vista to Vista. We actually have one in Irvine as well. And we have 10 blood mobiles that are out and about almost every single day of the year. So we are at businesses and at churches and civic organizations. You can make an appointment or you don't have to make an appointment. So really the best thing, if you want to find out what's most convenient for you, is to visit our website, sandiegobloodbank.org.
And for a lot of people that obviously, people that run their own business or might own businesses or might want to make an event with it or have the blood bank part of an event, like we had the blood, one of the blood buses at our office not too long ago. How can businesses and other companies and entities put on their own blood drive?
Yeah. Some companies think because they're not huge that they wouldn't be able to do that. We have different opportunities for different sized businesses. Again, civic organizations, church groups, companies. Really just reach out to us. There's a contact us button at sandiegobloodbank.org and reach out and we'll have someone, kind of talk to you about what your goals are, and maybe you can partner with a neighboring business, or you can support us in different ways. Perhaps you can become one of our community guardians, which is a group of businesses that agree to, hey, we're maybe too small to host a drive in and of ourselves, but we promise to put stuff on our social and put it in our newsletters. There's just a bunch of different ways you could partner with us and help the community.
And for people like me, some of the beneficiaries and the survivors of the, with the help of the blood bank, there's a way for you to get involved as well. The people that have benefited from blood transfusions that want to also help and get involved.
That is the best way to go about it. Honestly, those folks are, you can't replace a personal story. When you meet these folks, and there will be some here today that'll come down, they like to come down and share their stories of getting blood transfusions and how it transformed their lives and their families' lives. And it just really touches the donors. That's our bread and butter, are people looking at other people and saying, this is real. Like, you don't think about blood donation. Why would you, unless it's touched you or someone you love in some way? But boy, when you hear a testimony from someone whose life was saved because you sat in a chair for an hour, it's powerful stuff.
What's the big push today? Do we have goals for today? What are we trying to do? Last kind of, final thoughts for people that are driving around that are hearing this for the first time.
Yeah, in a perfect world, we'd love to get 400 pints today. It's been done before. This is our 9th Padres Winter Blood Drive, so it has been done before. So if we can get 400, that would be golden. And we're about halfway right now, and it's only around noon. We're here till 6, so fingers crossed.
Yeah, fingers crossed as well. I'm sure we'll give the updates when you guys have them at the conclusion of the day.
Yep.
Claudine, we greatly appreciate you joining us. We also greatly appreciate you guys welcoming us here. Obviously, a big cause for me and my family. So really appreciate that. Look forward to having you on the next time we do a blood drive.
We appreciate you, Brandon. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you. That's Claudine Van Gonka joining us on the Braden Surprenant Show here at the blood drive. Another big thanks to her as we bring Frank back over here for the first segment. Again, come on down. The parking is free here at Petco Park. You can park in the tailgate lot for free. You can also park at the Premier lot for free. And when you come down, it's super simple. You go to the East Village gates. There's signs all over downtown pointing you in the right direction. A simple sign-in sheet over here. They get you processed through. The whole process takes, or the blood donating process takes about 10 minutes. Gets you some snacks, a couple of cool swag things, and you're on your way, and you've helped out tons of people here with the San Diego Blood Bank. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, longer kind of conversation we want to have about the Farmers Insurance Open. Farmers Insurance sponsorship is up at the end of the year. What does that mean for a golf tournament that is part of a schedule that is might be getting axed soon on the PGA Tour. We're going to talk about that and how San Diego is going to keep their golf tournament on the PGA Tour when we come back on the Braden Surprenant Show, San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan. A beautiful day here in America's finest city. He's Frank Marchese. I'm Braden Surprenant. We are live downtown at Petco Park at Gallagher Square, where we are at the San Diego Padres Blood Drive, trying to get some more walk-in people to come out and donate blood. I've seen a handful of a lot of you guys from the YouTube chat. Jake Waters just stopped by with his daughter. They're donating blood today. Rod just exited the building after he was donating blood earlier today with one of his friends. Rod called you guys out on the air yesterday, so got to come out, support if you have time. Again, we are going to be here till 2 o'clock. I think Gwen and Chris is taking over back at the Bill House Studios, but the blood drive continues until 6 o'clock. The goal today is 400 pints. Claudine Van Gonka, who is the director of Community Relations and Media, told us that we are about halfway here at the noon hour, which is great. We want to get to 400 and maybe even more today. Frank's filling out his information right now to donate blood. We really appreciate all of you guys that have come down and done that already. We appreciate all of you that have already donated blood before today at other blood drives. Because there's a time, there's time you could donate blood and then you have to sit out a little bit. So appreciation to all those people as well. Parking at the Premier lot is free to come down here and donate blood. Again, it's a beautiful day here in America's finest city. We really appreciate you guys coming out and supporting your local community and a lot of other people that whose lives are impacted by this, mine included, with the blood transfusions I had as a newborn. As I've told that story multiple times on air. I told it again this morning at 10 in the morning. So trying to help people in the community today. We love being here at the blood drives. A big thank you to the Padres and the San Diego Blood Bank for inviting us out here to help support a really good cause. All of our guests on 97 Through the Fan join us on the David P. Shapiro Fan Hotline. David P. Shapiro, criminal defense attorneys, helping good people regain control of their future when charged with a crime since 2010. Visit davidpshapirolaw.com. Let's talk about, since this is the beautiful weather that we talk about in January, right? Everybody else is blanketed in snow. I get updates still from my alma mater, TCU. They have canceled school for the last 2 days because it is an ice storm out there in Texas. Everything's blanketed with snow. Fenway Park has a live video of their spot blanketed in snow. And look what we have here. It's like 70-something degrees. I don't know what the official temperature is. It's probably like high 60s, low 70s.
Yeah,
here.
That's about what it's supposed to be today. Is red 70s or go ahead.
It's right now. It's 70 degrees. Beautiful day, not a cloud in the sky downtown. These are the days that, when shown on television, do all the marketing for the entire year for people that are sitting in the snow and go, I want to live there. I want to visit there. That place looks great. And you know what a big driver of that is? The Farmers Insurance Open that's happening this weekend. Now, we've had some bad weather with the Farmers Insurance Open a couple of times, but this weekend is the big weekend, big marketing weekend for tourism here to San Diego. And there's a little bit of a risk of stability for the future of this tournament because of the PGA wanting to cut down on tournaments early in the season to spread them out more, have a little bit more, try to get more of their impact golfers in instead of playing every single weekend. And this is the kind of range right now that they're looking at potential cuts to tournaments, which raises a question about the future of the Farmers Insurance Open. Now, at first glance, this Torrey Pines weekend seems familiar as it's always been. We talked about the weather, the conditions, but there's some uncertainty. This is the final year of the Farmers Insurance title sponsorship. Now, it's been a bunch of different things in the past, but the Buick Invitational, the Farmers Insurance Open has been kind of long-standing now for the last handful of years, but the partnership is ending that began in 2010. That timing is uncomfortable because it coincides with a broader PGA Tour discussion about shrinking the schedule and potentially cutting up to 8 tournaments as early as 2027. Kirk Kenney took a deeper dive into this in the San Diego Union Tribune, but this matters a lot. One proposal floating internally would reduce the PGA Tour to 22 tournament weeks and majors. That puts long-standing but not non-elevated events on the bubble. Farmers Insurance Open dates back to 1952. It has been played at Torrey Pines for 59 straight years. It is one of the oldest continuous tour stops, and despite that, nothing is guaranteed until the PGA reveals its long-term vision. We're going to talk about like some of the cases for survival for Torrey Pines, but for us to lose a PGA Tour event at Torrey Pines would be catastrophically bad for our community. It drives big tourism, and I can't imagine the PGA Tour dropping an event that is so great like the Farmers Insurance Open. This is something that has to continue here in San Diego, and I don't know. I think it would be foolish on the PGA Tour to cut Torrey Pines out of their tour.
I think that they've been golfing in San Diego since what? 1952 is when this event started,
and it's been at Torrey Pines the last 59 years.
Yeah, and you've said it's gone over multiple names. I believe, from what I remember from reading the article, they said that this is the last year that Farmers is the title sponsor for it. I
yes,
believe
that's what
yeah. So I can't see them. I can see them cutting tournaments that aren't big draws. Not just draws for television markets, not just draws for live attendance, but also draws for the actual golfers itself. And there are a lot of big names that come to San Diego every single season to take part in this tournament. So I can't see, when you're consistently drawing guys like Scotty Scheffler, like Brooks Koepka, the top names of the sport, I can't see them getting rid of this particular tournament.
Well, like Scheffler's not participating in it this year, and they lost some of the big.
He has recently, though.
The big bags. Oh, I mean, a lot of them participate in it when it's on the U.S. Open Tour. So when Torrey Pines has been picked to be in the U.S. Open twice now, and they got to get back on there because it's a great place to have the U.S. Open. When you're part of the U.S. Open, you start to get like 5 years out. You start to get all the big names coming out here to Torrey Pines, to San Diego, because they want to play on the course. Because USGA comes in and changes the entire course to make it up to, U.S. Open standards. That's the latest course change that they had, is because they just hosted a U.S. Open. But the bag for the winner is a little bit less than it's been, which drives other people out. It's still early on the tour. I think that they're doing the in the simulator golf league that they do right now. The golf league is in the middle of the season too. But I go back to our conversation with the CEO of the Farmers Insurance Open, as well as the when we had Marty Gorsuch on. He was confident when we had him on that this was going to continue. He has been confident in a lot of different interviews, a lot of different articles. And I believe what Marty Gorsuch says about this tournament because of a lot of things that you brought up. But Torrey Pines is iconic. And these are all the arguments that he laid out in the Kirk Kenney article today. Torrey Pines is iconic. The national TV audience recognize it instantly with the ocean views, major championship pedigree, deep emotional ties to star players, and no player looms larger than Tiger Woods, who has won the Farmers 7 times, has also won the U.S. Open in 2008 here at Torrey Pines, where he had that huge back injury, and he came back and he fought through, and that incredible run that he had at the U.S. Open. And the personal history obviously helps elevate the event nationally. The other thing, too, not only just the history, because of Tiger being part of the deal, and Tiger chairs the PGA's Future Competition Committee, which that's a big factor for Torrey Pines, the fact that Tiger Woods has had a lot of success here and enjoys playing here. They're taking it. They're looking at what the tour is going to look like 2027 and beyond. But you talked about the star players. How about this? Couple of things with this year's tournament. But before we get to that, something that Ben brought up, it's a tournament that has always been played, with the exception of last year, has always been played the Pro Bowl weekend, which is huge for CBS. The weekend that you are off for the Super Bowl, the weekend you're off in between this and the Super Bowl, is played they need something to air. And this tournament is always a big one for them to air over the weekend. And not only is that the case, Brooks Koepka, who came back now from Live Golf, has committed to this year's tournament. And we've talked about some of the pairings. I mean, Brooks Koepka is playing. Max Homa is playing. Ludwig Erberg's playing. Harris English is playing with Xander Schauffele and J.J. Spahn, a couple of San Diego guys. Jason Day, Justin Rose, Hideki Matsuyama. These are all players that are notable players playing in this tournament. But did you see the news about ESPN picking this tournament up? ESPN, for the first time in nearly 20 years, is airing live coverage of a non-major PGA Tour event. They're airing Thursday and Friday from 9 in the morning to noon Pacific time, which to me, if ESPN is spending the money to air this event in an era where ESPN's trying to save money, trying to cut back on some of the expenses. They've spent a lot of money on college football and the SEC. They got out of their deal with baseball to renegotiate a different deal that's less money. In this day and age of TV contracts, the fact that they are airing this event for the first time in nearly 20 years, any type of event that's not a major, this to me is the biggest news in the sense of the tournament having legs to stand on in the future.
And for me, a guy who watches golf casually, like I'll watch the majors, I'll watch the Masters, of course, but this to me is always like, it always feels like this is the start. This is the first big round of the season,
I think so too.
For golf. This is their opening. This is their opening day. This is their opening event. Is this Farmers or whatever San Diego tournament it's called? And you're 100% right. Is that if you are going as ESPN, if you are going out of your way to purchase the rights, the broadcasting rights for a non-major, not just a non-major, but the first 2 days of a non-major for 6 hours total, as you said, 9 a.m. to noon on Thursday and Friday, that is a massive sign to the PGA. Is like, hey, this is a tournament that means something, not just to the locals, not just to the people of Torrey Pines and of San Diego. This is something that means something to the world of golf. For ESPN to be picking up days 1 and 2 of a non-major, it's a properly big event. It's a properly big tournament.
I look at, you mentioned like the kickoff to the real part of the season. I mean, I think about the tournaments before the Farmers and then the tournaments after the Farmers. Like they had the one in Palm Springs of the weekend, right? That one's okay. I'm still not into golf yet until the Farmers comes off. And then after the Farmers, they go up to LA, they go to Riviera, right, in Los Angeles. And then Pebble Beach is not too far along. I think this is like the real kickoff to that West Coast swing that the PGA Tour is on. And to me, it's like, wouldn't it be better to have a tournament in San Diego in January than it is to pick up an extra tournament like Ohio in the middle of summer? I mean, it's just to be part of San Diego and Torrey Pines. I mean, if they cut a place like Torrey Pines, I mean, what are they really doing on there? Yeah, what is safe at that point? To be honest with you, there's not a lot safe. And I think there's a couple of things here. If they're going to cut tournaments, which I think in general is probably better with the scarcity kind of aspect of things, because I think that would, if the Farmers Insurance Open survives the 8 tournaments that they're going to cut, them being, having less tournaments is going to drive more golfers, I think, into this one in particular. But the big question now is they got to get a title sponsor for this tournament. And the fact that they have all these big time affiliates, ESPN, and then CBS usually carries the Saturday, Sunday event. I think this is a tournament that's probably going to get a sponsorship pretty easily. And it's going to be a big factor for the health of San Diego. I mean, think about, you're going to see. I mean, have you been to I've been to the Farmers. I've covered it multiple times. It is a classier version of the WM. The WM, like the WM, the WM Invitational, whatever. That one is like rowdy and kind of obnoxious. The Farmers Insurance Open is still classy, but they got fun things to do. It's a good place. It's a good crowd, good energy. You don't like it. You really appreciate golf when you go to a tournament, especially one that's as well put on as the Farmers Insurance Open.
Yeah, and if you're going to cut now, if you think like me, like a rational thinking human being, unless it comes to my sports teams
and mascots,
and dogs, and anyway,
that's a long digression. Maybe you're not a sane adult functioning.
No, I know that. I'm cutting tournaments like in the boonies in South Carolina in October. Like, who cares about those? Like the tournaments that you have exclusively to the Golf Channel. It makes no sense to cut a tournament that has national recognition, that has the lineage that the Farmers has here at Torrey Pines. And not only that, the fact that you do get national broadcasting interest from this tournament every single year. This is one of the ones that makes the least amount of sense. And I do believe Marty Gorsuch when he says, no, there's a very small chance that this tournament does leave. However, there is still a chance. So it does need to be recognized, and it does need to be put back on display of like, hey, listen, this is our tournament. We love it here. We love having the PGA here every January. You're not going to get a better spot for a season kickoff in January or February than Southern California and San Diego specifically. Sure, it gets a little cold down by the water, but we live with that kind of stuff. I don't see any genuine reason for the Farmers or whatever iteration it's going to take on after it to leave San Diego. It's the best situation that the PGA has right now, especially for the time of year.
Yeah, look at the schedule that starts in January, January 15th with the Sunny Open in Hawaii. Then they go to La Quinta and play in the American Express. And then they come down here and play in the Farmers Insurance Open. These 2 weeks are the best, the Farmers Insurance Open and the WM Phoenix Open. And then they go to Pebble Beach after the Super Bowl. And then it's the Genesis Invitational at the Riviera. I mean, so this West Coast swing is great. And then they go to Palm Beach Gardens, Florida for the Cognizant Classic in the Palm Beaches. Like, why is that one on? That one to me is like, why? Like, is that a familiar place? Then you get the Arnold Palmer Invitational. That's a $4 million purse, right? You got to do that.
Course.
Then you get the Puerto Rico Open. The purse for that one is $720,000. You're cutting 8.
Yeah,
you look at that. That's like, why? Then you get the Players Championship. $4.5 million makes sense. That's a big.
I will say
Sawgrass.
that golf tournament that we saw, because we had the Golf Channel on in studio one day randomly. They were doing a tournament in Lima, Peru, in a park in the middle of Lima, Peru that was half the size of Central Park. The backdrop to that was glorious.
Thank you for that.
You're welcome.
Then they go to Texas. They have the Houston Open, the Texas Open. Then they get the Masters, right? RBC Heritage. I mean, all the ones with the big purses make a lot of sense, but there's a lot in there that, like, One Flight Myrtle Beach Classic. That one, like, if you look at this, like, it's May 7th through the 10th. That's on the PGA Tour. On the PGA Tour website, they have the schedule, and then they have all of the broadcast affiliates. That is the only tournament. That is a tournament that has only the Golf Channel doing it. Nobody else. It's like that's another one that should probably be cut. When you're talking about the 8 getting cut, you start looking at some of the purses. Anyone that's under $1 million to me is on the short list of getting crossed off.
Anyone that is exclusive to the Golf Channel is gone. If there's less than 8, then yeah, I would say anything with under $1 million purse is out. Like those are the easy ones to cut.
The only one so far, and I guess that things can change, but the only one so far that has actual ESPN on there, not ESPN Plus, but actual ESPN and CBS, and has the most television coverage of the event so far that's not like a major, the Farmers Insurance Open. I think that tells you everything you need to know. Find a way to get the purse higher to make it more meaningful. Cut some of these other ones out for $720,000. Keep the Farmers Insurance Open or whatever that you're going to name it with the new title sponsor here in San Diego, and keep it on the PGA Tour. You know what? I'm fixing college football. I'm fixing the NFL.
Brother's
I'm trying to fix baseball. We're fixing all of the things.
Every chance he gets.
That's right. You want to know why? Because I don't get any money in any of this. That's why it's easier to do when you have no money involved. It's easy to fix problems like that when you have no money incentive, as Adam said. Yeah, we are not worthy of all. It's so easy, guys. I don't know why they don't do it. 833-288-0973, 833-288-0973. When we come back, we're going to take a look at something that we missed earlier. Some of the World Baseball Classic rosters are taking shape. I keep forgetting that's coming up. That's going to be a fun tournament to put together, a fun tournament to watch, a fun tournament to talk about. We're going to talk about some of the rosters that are out there and the biggest threats to Team USA as we continue on the Braden Surprenant Show, San Diego's #1 sports station, 97 through the Fan. Gwen and Chris coming up next at 2 o'clock. They'll be broadcasting live from the Bill House Studios. We know how. We are live at the San Diego Padres Blood Drive at Petco Park. Big thanks to everybody helping out today, all the volunteers. Big thanks to everybody donating blood today. We're talking with Jake Waters there, who's in the YouTube chat usually. And he's out here donating blood with his daughter. So a good time had by all. You're helping out a lot of people today. We really appreciate you guys coming in and helping such a good cause. We do want to try to get a contestant for the Midday Sports Standoff today. 833-288-0973. 833-288-0973. If you call in and you can take me down in some sports trivia, you would be qualified for a chance to win our grand prize, 2 tickets to see Sammy Hagar at Dolby Live at Park MGM, a 2-night stay at Park MGM Las Vegas, and a $100 gas card. Sammy Hagar returns to Las Vegas with his Best of All Worlds Las Vegas residency. Get ready to rock with your favorite hits from the Van Halen years, Sammy solo hits, and more, only in Las Vegas this March 11th through the 21st and September 18th through the 26th at Dolby Live at Park MGM. Tickets on sale now at Ticketmaster.com.
Also, thank you very much to our promotions team, who is
they're baking in the sun right now.
Like cats to a window, are trying to find any bit of sunlight that they possibly can to stay warm. It's hilarious. They've been standing in front of the Ballast Point brewing stand for the better part of an hour and have not moved, either one of them. So impressive job by them today, not to set this up and to stand in one spot and not lose their minds for as long as they have.
You know why? Because it's warm over there. It's a little chilly in the shade.
I'd at least be pacing. They haven't even moved statues over there, the both of them.
Maybe they didn't have the cake pops. Cake pops, did you? Did you have? No, you're waiting.
I haven't had the second one yet. I'm waiting.
How was the birthday cake one?
Oh, the first one was fantastic. And then I was like, oh, blood draw. Never mind.
Nah, it's okay. It's whatever. It's whatever. Okay, we do have a contestant. We're going to get to that in just a little bit. We got a couple of minutes here. Let's look at the World Baseball Classic from a general standpoint. These are some great teams getting put together, and we talked about the Pro Bowl yesterday because Shedeur Sanders is going to be in the Pro Bowl team. But you start breaking it down, he's like the 8th alternate. That's half of the AFC. Half of the AFC basically turned down the Pro Bowl. So you have to roll out there with Shedeur Sanders. It's not really that big of a deal anymore. And all of these leagues are failing to create some type of all-star game. But the international play has really worked out for a couple of sports. One being hockey, which you're about to see in the Olympics after the Four Nations face-off from a year ago. And baseball's World Baseball Classic is starting to get more and more hype, and you're getting bigger names participating in it. And this is what people want to see in all-star games. The best players in their sport in the world competing at a high level, and you get that with the WBC. These rosters are loaded.
Yeah, and this is exactly what we talked about in, I believe it was 20 years ago, I believe. Was it not? The first World Baseball Classic was in 2006?
Yeah.
Thereabouts?
It was here.
Yeah. This is what we talked about back then, was that you need to have patience with this. You're gonna have to bill it like the World Cup, but you're going to have to wait on the build a little bit later on. It depends on the buy-in of the players, because the fans will be there, especially if you get good players, you get good games, the competition's good, you'll get people there. In order for people to really buy into it, they need to see the success. And right now, the players that are buying into this are making it bigger. It's not on the stage of the World Cup, which we'll also see a little bit later on this year, but you're starting to see that progression as more and more big names, the top stars of the sport, not just from Japan, who always show out, but especially here in the United States and Canada, that are really starting to buy into this and buy into playing for the name on the front of the jersey, especially when it's representing the country you're from.
Yeah, we've seen a lot of these rosters start putting together. A lot of them, these teams are loaded, and we do know that Japan has announced most of their roster. Yuki Matsui of the San Diego Padres will be representing Team Japan in the World Baseball Classic. The Padres have a handful of players that are playing in the WBC. I know a lot of people are worried about certain players getting hurt, everything, but that can happen in a spring training game just as much as it can happen in a World Baseball Classic game. You obviously don't want to see a situation like Edwin Diaz, who gets hurt in the celebration after a win, but at the same time, these guys want to compete for their countries. They want to be able to represent where they're from. And these rosters are going to be fun to watch. I mean, this is going to be a really fun tournament. And you look at Team USA, they're going to be in the same pool as Mexico and Italy, Great Britain, and Brazil. A lot of these venues all over the place. Pool B, the one that the United States are going to be in, is going to be played at Petco Park in Houston, where the Astros play. So it's going to be fun to see how this thing plays out here in the next month or so with a lot of these WBC teams. And again, a lot of the rosters are still trying to be finalized right now, but Team USA, this is the best pitching staff that they have had.
Yeah, absolutely. They heard me messing around with them, so they came over here now. The productions group, the promotion staff.
Nice.
But yeah, this is, I believe, Logan Webb just got added to it not too long ago, like a couple days ago. So yeah, this pitching staff for the United States is going to be absolutely loaded and is going to be probably the most fearsome part of that U.S. team. Of course, Dominican Republic team is going to be good. Puerto Rican team just added Nolan Arenado yesterday, and you can never discount Japan. I know they have a lot of NPB players on there, but of course they're adding Shohei Ohtani. They added Yamamoto a couple days ago. Yuki Matsui is going to be there. They've also got Akamoto and a couple of the Tetsuya Imai are going to be there, who are going to be making their debuts in the major leagues this year. It is a very top-heavy tournament, but it is a very, very competitive tournament when all is said and done. I am getting more and more excited for the World Baseball Classic every year it happens.
Team USA's 2026 World Baseball Classic roster is updated by January 16th, 2026. I still think they're looking for another outfielder potentially, but as let out, their pitching staff's loaded. Here's their position players. They got Cal Raleigh and Will Smith as the catchers this year.
Could do worse.
In infield, Alex Bregman, Ernie Clement, Bryce Harper, Gunnar Henderson, Bryce Terang, Bobby Witt Jr. Outfield, Byron Buxton, Corbin Carroll, Pete Crow Armstrong, Aaron Judge. Kyle Schwarber is the DH. The pitchers on this staff, loaded. David Bednar, Matthew Boyd, Garrett Clevenger, Clay Holmes, Griffin Jacks, Brad Keller, Clayton Kershaw, Nolan McLean, Mason Miller, Joe Ryan, Paul Skeens, Tarek Skubal, Gabe Speard, Logan Webb, Garrett Whitlock. I mean, just having Skeens and Skubal on the list is incredible, and it's great that those guys want to participate in the WBC, because a long time it's been the pitchers that never wanted to participate. Now they are, and this is a loaded United States roster going into the World Baseball Classic. We're going to talk more about that as we get closer to it, but we do have a contestant for the Midday Sports Standoff. Let's get to it.
Welcome to Midday Sports Standoff on the Braden Surprenant Show.
I can't believe what I'm seeing right now.
The ultimate head-to-head battle where sports knowledge and quick thinking collide.
No, he's no good. Are you kidding me?
Contestants will go toe-to-toe with Braden in a sports trivia deal where every correct answer brings them closer to victory.
Down the sideline! Wow! Unbelievable!
But 3 strikes and it's game over.
This is not Detroit, man. This is the Super Bowl.
Can you outsmart Braden? The Midday Sports Standoff starts now.
All right, playing the day is Christina in Lemon Grove. Christina, what's going on?
Hi, good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Hopefully you can take me down in some sports trivia today. Here's how this is going to work. Frank's going to ask a question. There's going to be a list of answers for this question. There's going to be multiple answers. You're going to go first. Whatever you guess, if you get it correct, you get a point. If you get it wrong, you get a strike. 3 strikes and you're out. Whoever's got the most or at the end will win today's contest. Does that make sense?
Yes.
All right, Christina. I'll pass it over to Frank. He will take control of the midday sports standoff as you try to qualify for a chance to win a trip to Vegas. What is today's question?
Today's question is, we've been sitting on this one for a week. Since 2000, which teams have won the most games in the NFL? Now, I have the numbers that I have are for the regular season, but even if it were for the playoffs, there would still be the same 10 teams, just with different numbers. So it is since 2000, which NFL teams have won the most regular season games? Christina, you ready?
Okay, I think I'm ready.
You have the first guess.
I'll just go with the Patriots.
The Patriots do have the most. They have won 284 games in the regular season since 2000.
They have been the biggest dynasty during that group. It's kind of tough because there's a lot of teams like more recent than others, the teams that were better in the back in the day. Kansas City's been on a pretty long run, but they've had some dark years mixed in there too. The next guess I was gonna have was oh man, who is it gonna be? I had somebody else. Let's go with San Francisco. They've kind of been consistent.
San Francisco is not on the list.
Wow.
Christina, Braden's already got a strike on him, putting you in the driver's seat. Who do you got for the next pick?
Brett Favre, Green Bay Packers.
Green Bay Packers are third on the list. They have won 260 games since 2000. Braden.
That was another one of my guesses because they've been consistently going to the NFC Championship game. So, like the recent teams, again, like the Bills have been good recently, but they were awful in the beginning part of the 2000s. I don't know if they have been able to rack up enough wins. Same with a lot of these other teams.
Christina, I have not heard him stall like this trying to figure out an answer. You're in good shape right here.
Kansas City will be my next guess, but they've been kind of bad at the beginning.
Kansas City is number 8 on the list. Christina.
No, I got one.
I don't want to say it, but Broncos?
The Denver Broncos
Denver's
are
been
number 10 on the list. Kansas City's won 238 games. The Broncos 231. Christina's leading 3-1.
Pittsburgh.
Pittsburgh is number 2 on the list. They have won 265 games. Christina.
Let's go with our school mascot, the Eagles.
The Eagles are number 4 on the list, 253 wins. Christina, if you get one more question right, you guarantee yourself a tie, which means you will be qualified.
Baltimore.
Baltimore is number 5 on the list. They've won 252. We've got 3 left, Christina.
Oh, God. I'll take a chance with the Chargers. Oh.
Yeah, that's never gonna.
Terrible.
Sorry, my finger slipped there.
Well, a lot of those years, like Drew Brees had done pretty well. New Orleans.
New Orleans is number 9 on the list. You guys are tied now, 4-4.
Falcons fan. So disgusted.
Let's see. Phillip Rivers coming back with the Colts.
Christina has qualified to go to Las Vegas. The Indianapolis Colts are 6th on the list at 246 wins. Braden, you want to take a crack at the last one? Hang on the line, Christina. Adam will get your information.
The last AFC or NFC?
NFC.
Shoot. Tampa.
No.
Who is it?
Seattle.
Oh, really?
Seattle's won 243 games.
Interesting. That will do it for the noon hour. She said the Eagles. When we come back at 1 o'clock, some interesting news in college football at Dabo Swinney.
Bet tonight
Not a bad idea.
that I'll have more hits than you.
Let's do it right now.
How much you want to bet?
We'll do $5.
Oh, God.
Oh, it hits ball in the air. Oh, sick, dude. What a great leadoff. What a great leadoff.
Yeah. You want to be mic'd up?
Oh. No, Rick. There's the Joel we know. Well, you're lucky I'm a huge target at first, dude.
Someone gassed.
Shell's got to get us in, though. We're screwed next at bat. That's not great.
Zion. Are you? That is the saddest thing. Are you insane? That is sad. No confidence.
Ethan, you better get a hit
Yeah,
now.
it's like Moneyball. He's got no confidence, ugly girlfriend.
Come on, Sam.
Oh, hose him!
Oh, we got it. Can we get a first baseman that can catch? One time, Matt. Nice. All right.
Glasses on too, that's why.
Oh, damn it. Can we score some runs? Play first base. All of a sudden, it's locked down.
Who bats after Q?
I think it's the other team.
Go! Go! Go!
Show Braden how to run home.
Oh, damn it. Got onto that bat.
Hey, the Surprenant suck.
Come on, Cello.
I can play cello.
Oh, look at the look at the throw.
Oh my God.
Oh, pick me, dude. You can't see it. It sucks.
I can't see anything.
Oh, I crawled back. Did you ask him to buy you a beer after that?
Hey.
Got us beer, dude.
You serious right now?
He does.
Dude, yeah, Ethan, seriously, dude.
I know. Hey, Ethan, sit next one. You don't boo nobodies. That's what I'm hearing.
Get out of here. Get out of here. Nice ball, Matt. Nice job.
I'm the best.
Hey, good job. Hey, we won. Nice job. Good job.
Good game. Good game, guys. Good game.
That big guy's going.
Good game. Where do you want me to sign, sir?
Like where you're always.
Don't set the Fox.
No, nobody makes me sign. But I'll whatever you need for your your kids or whatever, like sign ball or anything. Let me know.
You're all over it.
Bet tonight
Not a bad idea.
that I'll have more hits than you.
Let's do it right now.
How much you want to bet?
We'll do $5.
Oh, God.
Oh, it hits ball in the air. Oh, sick, dude. What a great leadoff. What a great leadoff.
Yeah. You want to be mic'd up?
Oh.
No, Rick.
There's the Joel we know. Well, you're lucky I'm a huge target at first, dude.
Someone gassed.
Shell's got to get us in, though. We're screwed next at bat. That's not great.
Yeah, all right. Yeah,
Zion. Are you? That is the saddest thing. Are you insane? That is sad. No confidence.
Ethan, you better get a hit
Yeah,
now.
it's like Moneyball. He's got no confidence, ugly girlfriend.
Come on, Sam.
Oh, hose him!
Oh, we got it. Can we get a first baseman that can catch? One time, Matt. Nice. All right.
Glasses on too, that's why.
Oh, damn it. Can we score some runs? Play first base. All of a sudden, it's locked down.
Who bats after Q?
I think it's the other team.
Go!
Go! Show Braden how to run home.
Oh, damn it. Final hour for us here at the San Diego Padres Blood Drive alongside Frank Marchese. I'm Braden Surprenant. Thanks again for joining us today. The big thanks to everybody that has come out and donated blood today here at the Blood Drive. You get a little box lunch today. You get some Padres swag. You get a Winter Blood Drive long sleeve T-shirt when you donate blood. So a pretty good day down here. Again, our show is going to be off at 2 and passing it on to Gwen and Chris, who are going to be live in the Bill House studios. We know how. But the blood drive is going to go on until 6 o'clock. So if you're at work and you want to get off, and when you get off work, make a little pit stop here, donate some blood. We're trying to get to 400 pints of blood today. It sounded like at noon we were about halfway there, which is great news. And obviously, going above our goals would be great. So, again, very easy to do. It's free parking down here at the Premier Lot at Petco Park. Enter at the East Village Gate, which is in the right field portion of Petco Park. Enter Gallagher Square. Sign up. You fill out a little questionnaire. Kind of wait for your opportunity to go. Takes you 10 minutes. Once you are inside, you get some snacks on the way out, some free food, some swag. Simple as that, and you're helping a lot of people's lives. So really appreciate you guys doing that today. Really appreciate everybody that has come down to hang out with us. Let's get to some other stuff. I want to kind of recap what we started today with some of the NFL news before we get into Dabo. The Dabo stuff's great. College football is the gift that keeps on giving in the drama world when you like to talk about tea on the show like we do. But the NFL today with some news like coaching hires. So the Buffalo Bills, we have made fun of the Buffalo Bills now for a couple of weeks in a row because it's been pretty hilarious seeing how they have just completely gone from a well-run organization that wins games to now what looks like a train wreck in Buffalo. And it's funny, like today, so on the way down here, I went to San Diego High School today. I talked to a career in sports class as part of their intersession. So I didn't get too much of the news. On the way down, Adam gave me a call to like kind of set up the show today of what we needed to accomplish from our end. And in doing so, he's like, "Did you hear about the Bills hiring?" And from that point on, I was just like, "Oh man, I can't believe they decided to hire their offensive coordinator, Joe Brady, after firing Sean McDermott, who's been there for a long period of time." And the reason why they fired Sean McDermott was they couldn't get that through that playoff wall. And it's been a problem with the playoff wall. Thinking you're going to get somebody in new, get a new staff in there. You got a good quarterback in Josh Allen. And then they just go out and they put in the offensive coordinator. I don't understand what they're doing. And I'll have a take for that in a second. But it is time to get to our biggest fan as we broadcast live from the San Diego Padres Blood Drive. Today's biggest fan, big congratulations to today's biggest fan, Justman Witten in Escondido. Justman Witten in Escondido. Give us a call in the next 10 minutes at 833-288-0973, 833-288-0973. And you'll qualify for our grand prize, 20 tickets for you and your friends for a night in our Odyssey suite at a Padres game with all the fan staff later this season, catered by Spiro's Mediterranean Cuisine. Remember to register your name at 97throughthefansd.com/biggest fan. Justman Witten, Jusmin Whitten in Escondido. You have 10 minutes. Give us a call. We'll find out if they call in. But let's talk about the Bills thing. It's funny. Like, as soon as I heard that, I'm like, Bills fans are going to be upset. And my buddies are texting the group chat, and one of the guys in the chat is a Bills fan. And I said, like, yeah, nobody's thrilled about this. And my other friend goes, well, what do you know? The pulse on the Bills fandom right now out here in San Diego? I'm like, I can tell you, hiring Joe Brady is not going to win over anybody when you're just bringing back the same guy. Then you find out, well, he went to Penn State, so there you go. He has to save all the Penn State guys all the time. But I don't understand the Joe Brady hiring in a sense of you wanted a massive change. You wanted a change to the organization. You said that they can't get the job done in the postseason. They got to be able to get the job done in the postseason. Let's go find somebody new. Let's go find a different voice. Let's go find somebody that might be able to take us over the top from what Sean McDermott had in place. And then they just hire the offensive coordinator? That sounds like you're not changing the staff at all. That doesn't sound like you're really changing anything that has made the Bills what the Bills have been in the playoffs. It just strikes me as, with everything that they said in that press conference, this is another sense of why this move to fire Sean McDermott doesn't make any sense. Just as much as I don't understand the Mike McCarthy hiring for the Pittsburgh Steelers. You fired Sean McDermott because of the playoff wall. The playoff wall is what they continued to say. And yet, you hired the guy whose offense for this team has done this in the fourth quarter overtime of 3 playoff losses. Pick, field goal, turnover on downs, touchdown, turnover on downs, missed field goal, punt. That is the last 3 playoff losses worth of fourth quarter and overtime possessions. That is the guy you hired. Now, Joe Brady, in a sense, I don't think is a bad coach. I think he's a solid coach. I think he did well as the offensive coordinator at LSU back in the day. I think he is a guy that can be a good coach, maybe, but I don't think he was getting a head coaching job anywhere else if he applied. Maybe, not really. I think he's probably better off as a younger guy being in a place to be a head coach for the first time in a place like Arizona, a place like Las Vegas, a place that isn't a team that is currently competing right now in the NFL. Oh, on top of the fact that you're not changing everything that you said you wanted to change in the press conference. This move makes absolutely no sense to the Buffalo Bills.
And this also leads to more questions about the bizarre press conference that they had last week. You should have just gone out there. If you were going to do this, if this was a plan that you had to have a coach in mind. If your plan was losing the playoffs, fire Sean McDermott, you have to have a plan in mind, or at least a head coach in mind. So instead, what you do is, instead of going out there and saying, well, McDermott, we needed a new voice. We figured it's the McDermott thing had run its course. We just needed a new voice in there. We feel as though the staff is good, the base is good. We wanted a new guy to lead it. We feel as though we're going in the right direction. Just McDermott isn't the guy to lead it. Instead, you go out there and say, yeah, no, this was we felt as though we did everything we could do with McDermott. The personnel decisions that he made weren't the greatest. You threw Keon Coleman under the bus. You annoyed your quarterback. You made your organization look completely backwards and just completely in disarray, all to hire from within. So why do you... So what you've done is you've created a chaotic situation, made your organization look foolish, made it look like the guys coaching were the problem, and the people making the personnel decisions were the problem, which, except the general manager, he's the greatest thing ever, though. And then you go and hire from within one of the guys who is in the process of making those decisions. It's more confusing.
They blame the coaching staff, the staff as a whole. The specific words were blaming the coaching staff for the Keon Coleman draft pick. And who did they decide to hire as the new head coach? The offensive coordinator.
The guy on the staff.
The guy that runs the offense of the position that Keon Coleman plays. It's baffling to me. I just think in the grand scheme of things, hiring Joe Brady is not the problem. It's the Bills promoting him as the offensive coordinator when they said everything that they said about Sean McDermott. Yes. I go back to the same thing with the Steelers. I talked about this on the show yesterday. I don't understand why Steelers fans might be excited by the news about hiring Mike McCarthy. Now, I've only had a handful of Steelers fans be excited about this, but they hired a guy. Like, it doesn't make sense for the Steelers organization to do that. I don't care if the guy's from Pittsburgh or not. When you have a guy like Mike Tomlin, and then you hire the NFC version of Mike Tomlin after Mike Tomlin leaves, and there was a little bit, and Steelers fans were like, oh, thank God Mike Tomlin's gone, but we're excited for Mike McCarthy. You hired the same coach. Now, Mike Tomlin left on his own. He did not get fired in Pittsburgh, right? Same thing like Mike McCarthy didn't get fired in Dallas. A little bit different, though. Mike McCarthy's contract was not renewed. But they hired the same guy. I don't know what NFL organizations are doing. And then you get to the Titans. Titans hired both New York coaches that recently got fired. Robert Saleh as the head coach, and then Brian Dable as the OC. I don't understand the logic of some of these NFL organizations and the decisions that they make.
No, it's just it's broken logic, and it's made by organizations and teams and owners that aren't the greatest, that we always discuss as being so foolish and backwards in the way that they do things. That poorly run organizations make decisions like this. And it's poorly run organizations that are stuck perpetually hiring these offensive coordinators, these small name coaches, these guys who are trying to get their first opportunity as a head coach. And it keeps turning over until you eventually hit on the right coach at the right time with the right quarterback at the right time. And then everything changes.
Here's one for you that I think is great, because I also think the whole promotion of the coordinator to the head coach is not great. Like,
no,
the Cowboys just did that with Schottenheimer.
Yeah.
Okay, the offense has played well, but the defense is crap for Dallas. They did not make too many strikes. They looked terrible most of the time, and Cowboys fans are like, oh, we're good. It's Schottenheimer. It's like, no, you're not. You're not great. It's not. You're not in a good. You should have cleaned house and changed everything. You can't keep things the same. Can't bitch, moan, and complain about decisions made by your coaching staff and then just promote half the staff up a spot. Here is a reminder of the history of NFL teams promoting a coordinator to head coach. You ready for this? The Browns promoted Freddie Kitchens. 1 year, he went 6-10. The Patriots promoted Jared Mayo 1 year last year, right? He went 4-13 with a team now that's in the Super Bowl. This team's in the Super Bowl now, the New England Patriots. Last year, they were 4-13 with Jared Mayo as their head coach. Antonio Pierce. I said that when it happened. I was like, he became the interim.
Yeah.
Guys rallied around him for a little bit. They won a couple of games late in the year. And the Raiders like, we're going to keep Antonio Pierce. I'm like, why?
Yeah,
that is foolish.
Right.
What did Antonio Pierce do in 1 year?
Nothing.
4-13. Let's go to Brian Schottenheimer. Brian Schottenheimer got promoted from OC to the head coach of the Dallas Cowboys because they didn't want to bring back Mike McCarthy. It's only been 1 year so far, but Brian Schottenheimer went 7-9-1. That's not an improvement.
No.
Giants, the New York Giants promoted Ben McAdoo. Giants fans, I'll ask Frank, how did Ben McAdoo do in 1.5 years?
He did very well at annoying the fan base.
13-15. The Titans.
His biggest black mark, though, is benching Eli Manning for no reason when he was so close to the consecutive starts record.
The Titans promoted Mike Mularkey. 2 years, he went 18-14. Dennis Allen, New Orleans Saints, defensive coordinator. They promoted him. 2.5 years in the league as the head coach of the New Orleans Saints, 18-25. Dirk Koetter of the Bucks was a coordinator. He got promoted. In 3 years, he went 19-29. Doug Marrone of the Jaguars got promoted. They gave him 4 years. He went 22-42. And Frank Reich was the offensive coordinator of the Colts. He got promoted, and over 6 years, he went 41-43-1. The whole point of the Bills getting a new head coach was to be better in the postseason. They just signed up to potentially be mediocre or worse than they already are. Now, I will give them the benefit of the doubt. A lot of these teams listed on here are not very good teams when they hired these guys to be their head coach. Excuse me. But the reality of the situation was, for a team that was so hard spent on, we got to get rid of Sean McDermott because somebody else is going to get us through the playoffs, and this is the hire. I understand why Bills fans are upset with this.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard not to be, and you're effectively giving it from Sean McDermott to a light Sean McDermott. That's really all you're doing. Now, again, as you mentioned, this is a better roster. This is a better team, and apparently the general manager is the greatest general manager in the NFL.
Who hasn't made a good draft pick in a long time.
Yeah, exactly.
Since Josh Allen. But by the way, when he made that draft pick, everybody at ESPN said it was a terrible draft pick.
Yep.
How can you draft a quarterback that has a losing record in college? He played at Wyoming. How dare you?
Yeah, he played at Wyoming. That's how he had the losing record in college.
Yeah, he's playing at Wyoming. He also took Wyoming to the Mountain West Championship game against San Diego State. They hosted the Aztecs.
Where did Aaron Rodgers play college?
He went to Cal.
Josh Allen? Delaware.
Oh, Delaware?
Yeah,
Joe Flacco?
He's the Super Bowl winner, you know?
The college quarterback situation, honestly, the guys that had so-so college careers ended up having pretty good NFL careers, with the exception of Peyton Manning.
But how? That was my point of that was why? How can you say he went to a bad college? Joe Flacco went to Delaware, a D2 school, and now it's a D1
well. They said
school.
he had a bad college record, is what the ESPN elitist said.
Yeah, wonderful, good for you.
I mean, if you look at the quarterbacks and all the good quarterbacks in the NFL, I mean, Tom Brady had a solid college career, but not like unbelievable. You know, Lamar Jackson at Louisville was okay, middle of the pack.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Philip Rivers played at NC State for 4 years. Kurt Signetti was his quarterback's coach.
Just because you're winning the Heisman doesn't mean you're going to be a
How about
great
this?
college,
How about
great
this?
professional player.
Sam Darnold's the first USC quarterback ever to go to the Super Bowl. Think about all the great quarterbacks that USC has had in the past. Sam Darnold's the first USC quarterback to ever make it to the Super Bowl. He could be the first one to win a Super Bowl.
Mm-hmm.
He's the first one to ever make the Super Bowl for USC.
Like I said, I thought Josh Rosen was the best quarterback out of that class.
Yeah, you can't believe the quarterback hype train, dude. Quarterback. I thought Drake May was the best guy coming out of his class, and he hasn't played well in the playoffs. Team's done well, but he was okay at North Carolina. Like, the team was okay at North Carolina. Sometimes you got to get guys that know how to bounce back after losses, not be loaded on team. Bryce Young has not been very good in Carolina.
No.
That was unbelievable at Alabama. C.J. Stroud got a great first year. That guy's been awful in the playoffs.
A good second year, too, to be fair.
His second year wasn't very good. He really fell off in the second half of that season. His third year hasn't been good. His first year was really good. But C.J. Stroud was unbelievable at Ohio State, right? I mean, it's a lot of Justin Fields, another great quarterback in college. Sometimes you got to get the guys that, you know, come from leagues that and teams that had to deal with a little bit of adversity. All right, we got to take a break. But going to break, we have a trivia question for you. If you're the first one to call in and answer the trivia question in which Frank is going to announce, you will win Aztec tickets to the game on, was that tomorrow?
Yes,
Wednesday,
tomorrow.
Right?
Yes.
Game tomorrow at Viejas Arena where the Aztecs take on Colorado State. That'll be January 28th. That is tomorrow. If you're the first one to call in, 833-288-0973, 833-288-0973, and answer the trivia question correctly from Frank Marchese. First one to call in, get the answer correct. You will win tickets to the Aztec game tomorrow, January 28th, against Colorado State. All right.
Jake Waters is trying to hedge his bet here.
He's
on the phone already.
Right out of the horse's mouth. All right, let's get to the trivia question today.
Who currently leads San Diego State in points per game? Who is the Aztecs points per game leader?
We had that before, but it was a different player.
Yes.
This player is now taken over. That's their hint. It wasn't. We've done this trivia question before, but now it's a new answer. First one to call in and correctly answer that will win today's tickets. 833-288-0973, 833-288-0973. Transition to college football and the craziness that is that with Dabo Swinney and a local San Diego kid at the middle of this. We'll talk about that next on the Braden Surprenant Show, San Diego Sports Station, 97.3 The Fan. Oh, guests on 97 The Fan. Join us in the David P. Shapiro Fan Hotline. David P. Shapiro, criminal defense attorneys, helping good people regain control of their future when charged with the crime since 2010. Visit davidpshapirolaw.com. He's Frank Marchese. I'm Braden Surprenant. This is the Braden Surprenant Show. We are live and local each and every day from 10 to 2 on San Diego's number one sports station, 97.3 The Fan. We've had a great day down here at the ballpark. You know what? It's the tease before the season. Being here back at Petco Park. It's a sunshiny day. It's beautiful out here in America's finest city. We're helping a good cause here in San Diego with the blood drive. But this gives you that sense of Padres baseball is right around the corner. And it's going to be the same feeling when we're here on Saturday for FanFest.
Yep, twice in a week. Love being at the ballpark. It's absolutely fantastic. Also, if you want to get back into the summer sports, it's coming up soon. Especially, pitchers and catchers report. I think it's 2 weeks from today.
What's the timer say? What's our timer say at 97throughthefansd.com?
The timer says
we got the timer going down. We got the countdown.
13 days, 23 hours, 43 minutes, and 12 seconds.
How about that? But who's counting?
Yeah, is when pitchers and catchers report. But it comes even sooner because with San Diego FC being in town, they are playing Pumas on the 3rd at Snapdragon Stadium. I believe that's a
next
part
week.
I believe that's a part of one of the international cups that they are going to be doing. So professional sports, for at least summer sports, are going to be coming back to San Diego here very, very soon.
And we're getting a little bit. We get the spring weather right now, which is great here in January, and hopefully this stays up. I think it should for the rest of the weekend for the Farmers Insurance Open, which is awesome here in San Diego. So looking forward to the summer months here in America's finest city. It's great to be back at the ballpark, and we'll be back here again on Saturday for FanFest. We will be here from 12 to 2. Ben and Woods will be here in the morning from 10 to 12. Gwen and Chris will be on after us from 2 to 4 as we have coverage of FanFest. There's going to be a lot of stuff going on here. Tickets are free, but you got to get them online before you come in. So that will be on Saturday. We just ran into Clay in the South Bay. Again, another one of our listeners coming in to donate blood at the blood drive. Everybody was called out by Rod earlier. He already came through. Jake Waters is here today, him and his daughter donating blood, but they came down, did the walk-ins, super easy to do, and helping out for a good cause. So we love to see our listeners out here donating blood. Again, we are going to be here till 2 o'clock, but the blood drive continues until 6 o'clock this evening. And so you could do it when you come off work and everything like that. There's some Padres swag that they are going to give away to people that donate blood. There's also the shirt that they have for the Padres Winter Blood Drive, and a couple other perks to coming down here. Parking is free. It's easy. If you're worried about parking downtown, I know that's always a big problem, but it's an easy day today. They make it super simple. And the donation of the blood, that part of time in the bus, it takes 10 minutes, and then you're on your way. They got free snacks for everybody as well that comes down here. Got to fill out some paperwork, and you're ready to go, and you're ready to donate. So thanks again to everybody that has been able to do that so far today. We only have a couple of minutes in this segment.
You're not going to be able to see it all that well here, but this is one of the things that he got in the giveaway here.
Fernando Topps card.
2019 Fernando Tatis Jr. Topps card. We've seen other people get bobbleheads. So there's a ton of stuff. It's kind of like it's kind of like a free garage sale, I guess you could say. It's just the cost of some of your blood.
A free garage sale. Price of admission.
Well, no, you just give them some of your blood. Okay. And you get the shirt, and you get a Padre goodie.
Trying to get 400 pints of blood today. We will try to get the update from Claudine tomorrow to pass along on the show. But it's been great seeing you guys all come out here. We had to rib play a little bit, man. Yeah, the Brownies need to get a head coach. Making guys do essays. Try to apply for a job.
I think if we get him in a Browns conversation, they might not let him donate because his blood pressure might get a little too high.
That's true. Yeah, we got to keep him calm. But he came down here to help support. It's great. So we appreciate everybody coming out here and doing that in particular. We got Aztec basketball tomorrow. Should be a good contest between them and Colorado State. We will talk about that game tomorrow, get you a little bit of a preview on that as they host Colorado State. 7:30 tip time, Pacific time, here on the West Coast. So that's going to be a later start at Viejas Arena, but a pretty big game for San Diego State tomorrow.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, against that Colorado State team that has not been all that great. I believe I said 8-12 is their record so far this season. They're 3-6 in the Mountain West Conference. So a big, important game coming up tomorrow night, which congratulations to whoever got the tickets over the break for answering our trivia question correctly. Reese Dixon Waters, currently the points per game leader for San Diego State.
That was BJ Davis the other day.
It was BJ Davis last time around. But yeah, especially with what you have coming up next, going to Utah State, you have to build as much momentum as you possibly can going into that Utah State game. And Colorado State, you played great against UNLV. You had a big lead for a good majority of that game. And now you have Colorado State. You really need to put it on Colorado State in order to get yourself ready to go into Utah State.
And that's a quad 2 or quad 3 game based on their net ranking. So
Colorado or Utah?
State. Utah State's a quad 1 game. You have to win and that's going to be a tough place to play in Logan, Utah. You're playing at altitude, which is always tough for San Diego State. You got to win one of those games. That's a quad 1 game. And those games are Utah State on the road. If Utah State stays in the top 30 in the net, that is a home game. That is also a quad 1 game. And then the trip to New Mexico. And that's basically it. Now, Boise State's played themselves into the top 70. They're at number 64 now in the net. So that becomes a quad 1 particular game for the Aztecs later on as well. But they got to be able to put together some quad 1 victories to help their resume a little bit. Now, the Nevada game, since they played themselves back into a quad 1 game, that counts. So now they're 1-3 in quad 1, 4-1 in quad 2. This game against Colorado State at home is actually a quad 3 game, which is unfortunate. So Colorado State is ranked 93 in the net. 93 in the net as a home game jumps you in a quad 3. So it's a quad 3 game. Again, tricky opponent for the Aztecs, but one that they got to be able to take care of business against before they get to Utah State coming up on Saturday. We're going to take a quick break, tease the Dabo Swinney thing enough. When we come back, the local connection to what has been just kind of a chaotic situation. And Dabo Swinney is blowing the whistle. We'll explain more on the end of the Braden Surprenant Show when we come back. San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan. Final segment of the Braden Surprenant Show here on a Tuesday, live at the San Diego Padres Blood Drive. Big thank you to everybody that has come out and helped out today. A lot of people that have volunteering their time, all for a good cause. We really appreciate everybody that's donated blood today. Big shout out to all of the listeners that are in our YouTube chat every day that have come out and donated blood today. Jake Waters in the chat, Clay in the South Bay, Rod, all coming out and supporting and donating blood today. Really thankful for you and everybody that has done that because of a lot of things, obviously with the blood bank affecting my life and keeping me alive as an infant to this day. I've told my story a couple of times, but blood bank saved my life, and I'm really appreciative to everybody that donates blood here in San Diego. So they're trying to get to 400 pints today. I think we made the halfway point at around noon. Haven't got another update, but it sounds like we're doing pretty well. Walk-ins are very much welcome. We're really pushing for the walk-ins right now. Blood drive will be going until 6 o'clock tonight at Petco Park. Frank's going to donate blood at the conclusion of the show. And if you come off work, whatever, they're going to, like I said, they're going to be here until 6 o'clock. We are signing off in about 20 minutes or so to Gwen and Chris, but who are at the Bill Howe studio. We know Al. I do want to get into this conversation. Wait, I've teased it enough. I need to get into this conversation about what Dabo Swinney has been doing and going public and nuclear over alleged tampering. That is about a player from Carlsbad High School.
Always
this is a San Diego
on this show.
It's a San Diego kid, Luke Farelli, who is at Cal, then transferred to Clemson, and is now in the process of potentially transferring to Ole Miss. But that kind of got shot down with this entire situation with Dabo. So what happened was Clemson head football coach Dabo Swinney made one of the most explosive public accusations in recent college football history. It's like 8 minutes at a press conference naming Ole Miss specifically and their head coach Pete Golding and accusing him of blatant tampering with linebacker Luke Farelli, the Carlsbad High School kid. A winter transfer portal signee who had already signed, moved to campus at Clemson, and already began classes for Clemson. Luke has already taken classes at Clemson. This wasn't a vague complaint by Dabo Swinney. He spent nearly an hour in a press conference seated next to Clemson Athletic Director Graham Neff, laying out a minute-by-minute timeline, including alleged text messages, dollar figures, and phone calls. Swinney alleges that Ole Miss contacted Farelli after he had signed with Clemson, while Farelli was enrolled in classes with explicit financial inducements and with direct communication from Pete Golding himself. Swinney classified the alleged behavior as tampering 101, talking to players not in the portal, tampering 201, negotiating NIL deals before the portal, and tampering 301, contacting a player after he signed, moved in, and attended class. This is a whole other level of tampering, according to Dabo Swinney. I'm kind of believe with this. It isn't a gray area portal dispute. Farelli signed a financial aid agreement, moved to Clemson, rented an apartment, bought a car, attended meetings and classes, then allegedly received text messages including, "I know you're signed. What's the buyout?" A picture of a $1 million contract. Clemson claims the offer escalated to 2 years, $2 million. Clemson says Ole Miss continued to contact after being warned to stop contacting their player. Are you kidding me? This is the gift that keeps on giving. College football is so messed up. College athletics is so crazy. But Swinney also aimed blame at the system itself. Clemson asked for proof, text messages. Farelli's agent allegedly hesitated, citing future relationships. Agent reportedly offered to provide evidence to Clemson only if Clemson increased its NIL offer to Luke Farelli. Clemson refused. Swinney framed this as evidence that rules exist without enforcement, adults are failing the system, agents and schools operate with near impunity. This is amazing. This is amazing. Clemson has formally now reported Ole Miss and Golding to the NCAA. ACC Commissioner Jim Phillips and SEC Commissioner Greg Sankey were contacted. Swinney publicly challenged the NCAA, quote, "This shouldn't take 3 years. Just get on the phone." Ole Miss has not commented on the situation. This comes amid growing NIL chaos, players reneging on signed deals, schools suing players, courts blocking transfer restrictions, NIL contracts acting like unenforceable handshake deals. So based on the timeline of this situation, Luke Ferrelli transfers out of Cal. He then finds a landing spot at Clemson. He goes to Clemson. He enrolls in classes. He starts taking classes. He starts showing up to team meetings. He has bought a car there. He has housing there. He is established as being a Clemson Tiger. Ole Miss tries to get him to leave and enter the transfer portal and go to Ole Miss, offering more of a deal than what Clemson is offering. They try to get him to come to Ole Miss, offer a buyout, and to give him money. And then Clemson, in trying to get details from the agent of Luke Ferrelli, the agent decides to basically go like, all right, yeah, we'll give you the text evidence that shows that they were tampering with your player, but only if you increase our player's contract for next year. In what world does this make any sense at a professional level compared to what this is unbelievable.
I mean, this is the wild, wild west that the college athletics has become. And the reason why it is the way it is because this is all brand new. And no one had the foresight to put any guardrails in place whatsoever before NIL really kicked in. I have no idea what in the world is going on in college football. I don't think anyone else does either. This is it's insanity. It is the wild, wild west. And the fact that this is going on. This has been going on. This whole tampering thing has been going on. This is not a unique story. The fact that Dabo Swinney, I believe even the NCAA said, yeah, we're kind of shocked that Dabo brought this up to us.
He went scorched earth at the press conference, man. Scorched earth.
As he should have.
I agree with that 100%. There is no reason. The agents, too. I mean, the agents in college football right now are unvetted. They're not. I mean, a lot of them are unlicensed. There's no players association. And a lot of these agents are taking like 20%.
Yeah.
The agent's looking for a pay raise right now. Well, I'll give you the evidence to potentially, indict Ole Miss for tampering, but only if you raise the tuition, the NIL payment to my client, Luke Ferrelli. We have the audio of Dabo Swinney. This is Dabo Swinney talking at the press conference, going absolutely scorched earth on Ole Miss in the NCAA.
And to be honest with you, this is crazy. To me, this situation is like having an affair on your honeymoon. That's basically what we're dealing with. And I know for a fact that this is happening at other places. Because you know why? Because I've had a bunch of coaches over the last week that have reached out to me. And they're going, well, let me tell you what's happened to me. Let me tell you what I know. Let me tell you my story.
No, not yet.
I've had a lot of people reach out with their stories. And so I want to challenge all of those coaches that have reached out to me. I want to challenge all of them. You need to step up and call it out. Otherwise, don't complain. You either step up and you be an example to young coaches in this profession and be people of integrity, or just shut your mouth and don't complain again.
I agree with Dabo, man. These schools, you can't sit there and complain and cry wolf on the tampering and our players are getting taken from us and all this other stuff without naming names. Dabo went out there and started naming names. What does he have to lose, right? I mean, he's not going to get in trouble for that. These guys are doing X, Y, Z. We have evidence to prove it. This is a joke.
And he has been the biggest opponent to NIL, to the transfer portal. He's openly said that he's not going to build at school through the transfer portal. He's going to go out. He's going to recruit guys. He's going to do what he's got to do. and they're going to do it the Clemson way. You saw how well it worked for him this year, but he has hated this stuff from the very beginning, and everything that has gone on around it, he has been 110% against it. So if there is anyone who is going to go out there and try to fight this, it makes sense that it would be Dabo.
I can't believe the agent for Luke Ferrelli. Are you kidding me, man? You guys get caught like trying to get a better deal, and then it's like you're almost like, was it? I can't even. I don't know the correct word. But
this is why you need licenses to do certain things.
I can't believe they have the audacity to tell Clemson, "Oh yeah, you want to get Ole Miss in trouble? I got that information to get them in trouble, but you're gonna have to pay my client an extra $1 million in NIL." Are you kidding me? If I'm Clemson, I'm telling Luke Ferrelli, pack your bags and get out of here.
Is that extortion?
I think that's what the proper term is. Extortion.
I mean, that lands you in jail.
What are you doing? I can't. I mean, the fact that it's a San Diego kid, so it's interesting. But if I'm Clemson, I'm like, see ya. I don't want to deal with this. I know we signed a contract. I just be like, we're cutting this kid. The fact that they were trying to ask for more money, the audacity of them to ask for more money is crazy to me. That's crazy. Ole Miss just going like, yeah, we're going to do whatever we want. It's funny. I thought the problems with Ole Miss left with Lane Kiffin. Apparently, it just sat there with everybody else. How does this work in any professional sport? If you want to talk about being professional, this doesn't work in any professional sport. Could you imagine in this world, like we're here at Petco Park, right? Talking about the Padres. Could you imagine a world in Major League Baseball, Fernando signs a deal with the Padres, and then the Dodgers call him and go like, what's your buyout? Do you want to void your contract? We could pay you double what it is. Just like leave after you've already signed. Could you imagine that? Like, this is why there's rules for this stuff. This is why you can't just start paying kids millions of dollars because they're going to get poorly advised. They make bad decisions because they're children, 18 to 20-something-year-old kids. And it's a lot of money, and they're poorly influenced by these agents that are not even real agents. I have to double check with the kids that I coach, making sure, okay, what percentage are they taking? What are we doing in terms of like how much, are they vetted? All this stuff. Like anybody ask you for more than 4%, if you're a high school kid, they are BSing you. Okay. The Players Association percentage for agents in the NFL is 4%. Marketing agents are about 20%. Now, if that's the case, you have to understand the difference because a lot of these people are just preying on you, high school kids, saying 20%. You didn't get 10% to your local church of your income. You're going to give 20% to some dude that says he can get you a contract with somebody? Give me a break. Don't ever sign with an agent for 20%. It's unbelievable. Ridiculous. I don't know what the percentage was for Luke Ferrelli, but I'm just saying in general. And the agents are making money here. And the reality is all of these situations are escalating to a point where the kid is still going to get screwed over at the long run.
It's like I said, it's the wild, wild west of college athletics. And there are no guardrails to any of this because no one had the foresight to think, hey, could someone get screwed over this way? It's such a simple question. When you think about making a change, in order to enact a change as smoothly as possible, you have to think of how are all the ways it can go wrong? And then answer those questions before you make the decision. This is just asinine how all of this has gone down and is continuing to go down. Especially now, you've got a couple kids that are in court getting sued by the universities. You've got the NCAA is doing something with one of the basketball players. I forget what that exact situation is. But I mean, there is so much nonsense going on in college athletics now, and it's because there was no foresight.
Well, they wanted to protect something that they couldn't protect any longer, and then they just said, forget it.
Stupid.
Just do whatever you want. He's Frank Marchese. I'm Braden Surprenant. We're signing off here at the Blood Drive. It's going to stay open until 6 o'clock. Big thanks to everybody that came out today. Coming up next, Tony Gwynn Jr., Chris Ello, Matt Scraby, live from the Bill House Studios. We know how. 2 o'clock, San Diego Summer Sports Station, 97.3 The Fan.